they say we are crazy. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are crazy. Brought us from the motherland in bondage and chains. Bury our culture and change our names. They claim we're free, yet we are in pain. As long as there's life, there's a lot to gain. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are crazy. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are crazy. When Garvey spoke his words, they said he was deranged. Marley sung his songs, they said the same. Malcolm X and Martin Luther fought relentlessly so we could be better. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are crazy. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are crazy. Brought us from the motherland in bondage and chains. Bury our culture and change our names. They claim we're free, yet we are in pain. As long as there's life, there's a lot to gain. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are crazy. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are crazy.
Very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try surviving the heat. Bad mind them up to one, hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 bills you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle we submit. The system will slide where you fit.
Inna the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest and them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, you me see enough stress. Them all a fight people who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a breed the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't rest.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest and them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one, hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 bills you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep a eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the seed. Now cater about the future nor the child when you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle we sonate. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets where we born and grow, only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest and them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah.
Very careful.
Tell the youth them for be strong. You can't tell the youth them for preach wrongs. While you try it on these lands, just remember every man is equal. Yeah, each one teach one. And our Father God, him are the only done. So make we ease and reason. Smoke trees, span the ends, all the deep meds. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go. It's a government now have no heart, them no care about poor people. Yeah, bigger heads no love people again. Them more than little of them. We see friends now reason again. Vex through whistle a blame. More time it hurt me to see how the face deal with the eagle of them. Regular me see it a pain. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go. It's a government now have no heart, them no care about poor people. Social commentary, drop the one your principle, you don't know the global will comment with. Some people life every day it's stress. The high price from JPS, that topic is currently. Jah alone him a go help you. We need food and we no healthy. We are feel the pain, beg you protect we. In our life we have no fanfare. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go. It's a government now have no heart, them no care about poor people.
Very careful.
Tell the youth them for be strong. You can't tell the youth them for preach wrong.
Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? On our deal with.
Ooh, yeah.
Suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like the rushing of a mighty wind.
Yeah, blessings. Once again, you know the routine, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All of that helps. So you don't know. Without any further ado, Let's get started. Yeah, what's happening, Ola? Good to see you again.
Cool, man. No shaking.
Yeah, what's on your mind?
The Pan-Africanism that is coming from United States, I think that is not type of Pan-Africanism Africa want. Because you were mentioning a lot of intellectuals, Pan-Africanism in Africa, people like the Julius Nyerere, Kende Kaunda of Zambia, and other Africans, Pan-Africanism that fought the apartheid of South Africa. You see, this Pan-Africanism guys or past people you see, these are intellectual developers. These people built their country right from the time of independence to today, what Tanzania, Nigeria, Zambia today. The Pan-Africanists you see that is coming from the United States, they all look like madmen. These are mad people. These are crazy people. Whoever take Dr. Omar very seriously, he's not a Pan-African, he's a madman.
Okay, so before we say they are madmen, let's talk about if we are going to talk about the Pan-Africanism, what are those Pan-Africanist ideas coming out of America that makes them madmen? Because it has to be their ideas that makes them mad. So can you talk about their ideas and then compare it to the sane men's idea of Pan-Africanism, if you will? So what ideas make them so mad?
Their ideas is a backward ideas. Their ideas actually no meaning.
Like which one, for example?
Hold on. All what they want to sell is black power. Apart from the black power of a thing, they don't have no other substances. If you check the people that you measure here, people like the Marcus Garvey or people, those old Africans are ones that came back and doesn't want anything colonialism anymore. These people have ideas how to develop society, a functioning society. That's why today, what they put down, that's what's still running up to today. Yeah, there might be corruption there, but that idea of you can rule yourself and everything is still what we have, jobs and everything. But the ones you're seeing today, this modern time that are coming, they look like more like people that are schizophrenic. They you cannot take them seriously. You don't know who they are. They can flip at any time. You understand me?
I'm still struggling though, Ola, with really pinpointing, because you said black power. And, I think that what I've read so far in terms of Pan-Africanism and what they envision in terms of a unified Africa and everything else, I think if that can be described as black power, if you will. So whether it's madness or not depends on how they define the black power that they're talking about. So if you can just go a little more in depth in terms of what you think they mean by black power and why it's madness, because I'm still not hearing the madness that you're proclaiming it to be.
Hold on. These people you're seeing who call themselves today Pan-Africanism, they try to market themselves by tourism, by holding symposium, making money through that, and other things. Apart from that, right? Let's take the Thomas for example. He is always going to places whereby they will put him on the stage. He make money out of those people. They started, even so situation will get it worse because it's repeated things a lot of times nowadays. It's always about the money. It's not about about the idea, what they say they want to push. It's good to make money, but why don't you make money aside somewhere? They try to develop what you the American Pan-Africanism cannot be trusted. Sorry, cannot be trusted. You can't trust people.
I'm still not hearing an idea though. You're talking about black power. You said the leaders. You mentioned a couple of leaders that may be untrustworthy, but you haven't yet gone into an Pan-African American idea that you disagree with.
The Pan-African that's coming from United doesn't have no ideas.
Okay. They have no ideas. Okay.
Because anything that they have no ideas, you cannot define it. Rather, they're all making noise. Some of them become FBA, some of them become something else. Those that push for Pan-Africanism never change course.
Well, I don't know. I think FBA is absolutely, they don't identify as Pan-Africanists. And Pan-Africanists do not Pan-Africanists, hold on, Ola. Yeah. FBA do not identify as Pan-Africanists, and Pan-Africanists don't claim FBA.
Yes,
so to say that FBA comes out of the American Pan-Africanism, I think that's kind of a miscalculation.
Yes, if you check the founder of FBA, if you go back inside 2015, 2012, 2013 to 2010, he was singing about Pan-Africanism, written a book about African Moors, going to breakfast, shop de go, whatever. It's all about money. He was looking for money. When they start banning him, he can't travel to most of these countries. The money is not
I don't think that makes him a Pan-African today, though. I think, I know he may have, I know that may be true about his past, but if you listen to him today, and since he started the FBA stuff, he's spoken down on Pan-Africanism. And, people are allowed to change their views. So even if he was Pan-African back in the day, right? Because there are Christians today who weren't Christians before. And if they claim to be a Christian today, I'm not going to say to them, well, 10 years ago, you weren't a Christian, so you're not a Christian today. Like, I'm not going to put that on them. Right.
But when you're dealing with other people, right, who does not flip like that in time, then nobody will take you seriously. The people that hold Pan-Africanism in Africa, I use that word Pan-Africanism in Africa, the Nyerere and all these guys, they never flip. They came together to deal with what is at hand, what's called the apartheid that was going on in South Africa and the colonialism that they like. Those people sacrificed, before them were their ancestors, sacrificed their lives to some of all these things. That's where they gathered this strength from. It was never really that they just started so Pan-Africanism. If you check Zambia, Tanzania, Ghana, some of them was being actually dealt with, not them directly, but the ancestors. So we don't flip as African. I cannot be one day become a son, then the other day become a moon. You understand? We don't know what goes on in Africa. This FBA, the founder of FBA used to sing about Kumbaya, but not anymore. You understand me? Now he's not saying he's not even an African. And they were already in the United States. So it's all about the money, it's all about the grifting. And we don't do things like that. If you check now the TikTok, now it's about the Black Scottish. Why I'm using why you use this as a reference is not about the Black Scottish. They thought Black Scottish are people who are indigenous to Scotland. You understand me? I wanted the education of United States. And it become a very big laughter and shame, very big shame, that they start telling the people, oh, don't let Africa steal your shine, don't let Africa see people, they build nothing. They forget that these people are Caribbeans and African descendants, that immigrant. And some of these people call Black Scottish are the first generation of these parents who came Windrush to 1960 to 70s. So how can you deal with people that their educational standard is a very low one, like a negative one? People that don't know nothing. That's why people laugh at them now. This Black Scottish make the whole world, the black race in the whole world, say that the Black Americans in the United States, they are backward people and useless. Thank you very much.
All right. Hang on a second, gentlemen. I want to hang on, I'm going to get to Elijah. I hope I'm not saying your name wrong, Elijah.
Elijah,
Yeah, you are. You're
Elijah.
breaking up. You're breaking up. I can
I'm
hardly
breaking
hear
up.
you, Elijah. You're breaking up badly.
Okay, hold on. Let me in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, hang
Can
on
you
just
hear me?
1 second, Corsi. I'll get to you. I can hear you still, Elijah, but you're still choppy, bro. You're still quite choppy. I tell you, once you mute out, I'm gonna go to Corsi and then I'll come back to you. Okay?
Okay. Can you? I think
Yeah, because
I was
you're still
listening.
breaking up. Yeah,
It's
you're still
breaking
breaking
up.
up badly. So you're still breaking up badly. So if you can mute out for me, that would be great.
Elijah, show your network out, mate.
Corsi,
Yeah, what's up, man?
blessings to you, sir. How are you today?
Blessings, man. Yeah, I was
What's
just
going
listening to
on?
you guys. Yeah, I was just listening to you guys.
Where are you from, Corsi?
I'm from Ghana.
Ghana. Ola,
Yeah.
tell us again where you're from. Ola, you're from Nigeria, correct?
No, Ghana.
Ghana. You're both from Ghana. Okay, blessings.
No, I'm from Ghana. I don't know about Ola. Ola is
Ola's from
Nigeria.
Ghana.
No.
Oh,
If you hear the word Ola, any Ola person is from Nigeria.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna question it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know ourselves.
Yeah, are you in Ghana right now, or are you in the States?
Yeah. I'm in Ghana right now.
Where exactly in Ghana are you?
I'm in the Volta region.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's in the mountains.
What's the weather like?
Oh, it's very cold at the moment.
Cold. Like how many degrees?
We're looking at 18 around this time. Yeah, around 18.
Okay. 18. Yeah, that's pretty cold.
Yeah.
That's pretty cold.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cold. So what's on your
Yeah.
mind? Thanks for hitting that link. What's on your mind today?
Nah, it's just this FBA thing is just pissing me off.
What has you
this whole
pissed off
FBA
about
thing.
it?
It's like it's another way of dividing us, isn't it? Like, you know, so I don't really subscribe to it, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know why you would want to segregate yourself from a whole billions of people like in Africa. Why would you want to segregate instead of like actually joining and making us even bigger? You want to cut yourself away from us, you know?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I absolutely hear what you're saying.
Okay, you see the European Americans. The European Americans, they know their ancestors have been in America for a long time, but you're not going to hear a European American saying, "Oh, I'm American," you know. So why is it that black people are now saying, "Oh, they're Native Americans"?
European Americans are more likely to say they're American than European American. It's very rare. I don't think I've ever heard.
No, but the only thing is they know where they're from, though.
Sure, and I think what's happening with FBA is that
not from. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, they know that they know where they're from, and the same way you know that you're from. Tell me where again in Ghana you're from?
Volta.
That must be that, like, you know, I think that there's something powerful about knowing exactly where you come from. I think there's something innately powerful about that knowing. It's an unconscious thing that I think has a lot of value that, you know, puts meaning and can give more meaning to your life in a way. I think that what FBA is doing, and I think that that's what FBA is claiming when they're saying that they are American, is that, you know, because they can't tell you. Let me just finish. They can tell you exactly where in America their ancestors come from. They can tell you exactly where. They can't tell you that about Africa. They just can't. So the same way you have a connection for Ghana, just from knowing that's where you're from, and that's where your people are and have been. Just having that, that's what they see, and that's what they, and the only place in their view, and possibly even in my view, the only place that they can get that is here in America. And I think that's what they're reaching for, and that's what they're trying to gain is the same thing that you have, that security of knowing where you're from and having a connection to it. I think that's what they're doing, and I think that's their goal. The way they're going, they're trying to achieve it. You know, I may object to a lot of the ways they go about doing it, but I think that their goal is noble to a degree. I think there's meaning to it, and I don't think that we should just kind of dismiss it as if they're just bad kids.
No. It's not about dismissing it. Yeah, it's like an Irish American knows that they're Irish, right? There's Irish Americans that have spent generations in America. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But knowing the Irish person, knowing that I'm from Ireland, it gives them like, oh, you gotta know where you're from to know where you're going. So an Irish person in America, despite they've been there for over 300 years or whatever, they still know they're from Ireland. They know they're from Europe, Ireland. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but remember that Ireland, remember that the main thing you're saying is that they remember they're from Ireland. They have a connection to Ireland that they don't have to Europe. Let me just Let me say this. No, Africa is not a country. Africa is a huge continent, right? And the same way Africa is not a country. You can't compare someone from Ireland, an Irish person from Ireland, having a connection to his home country and say the same way an Irishman has a connection to Ireland, a black person in Africa should have a connection to Africa, because Africa is not a country. It's not the same thing. And the connection that the Irish person, let me just say this last thing. The connection that the Irishman has to Ireland is totally different from the connection he has to Europe. It's something totally different. If you ask him who he is, he's going to tell you he's Irish, right? Before he tells you he's a European. So it's just a little unfair to compare the two and say they should have the connection to Africa that this Irishman has to Ireland. It's just not fair, I don't think.
Oh, okay. So I get what you're trying to say. You're trying to find an identity that's been missing, right? You feel
that's been missing, and I think that gives, for us, I think if I was to ask you, if knowing whether or not, if knowing that you're from, oh man, tell me one more time. I'm sorry. Volta. Knowing that you're from Volta brings meaning to your life. I think I can say that confidently, because knowing where I'm from in Jamaica brings meaning to my life as well. And there's a connection that I have to where I'm from that I don't have to even hear, you know. So, and I think that's what they are searching for. I think that feeling, that knowing, and that connection is very important for human development. I think it's quite important.
Very important.
And I think that's what they are seeking by claiming America, because they're going all out in claiming America. They want to say they've been here forever. They're trying to even cut off their connection to Africa altogether in some degree. But I think that ultimately that's what they're searching for, or at least that's what makes sense to me in terms of why they're going so hard for this. And I think that's why. It's because it's that feeling that everyone wants to know where they're from and to have that connection. And I think they're trying to do that with America. And I don't necessarily knock them for that. I kind of can't knock them for that. Do I not appreciate the way they're going about it? Like I said, sure, absolutely. There's a lot of what they do But when I think about what their ulterior motive is, or what their, not ulterior, but what their ultimate motive is, you know, I can't really knock them like other people are knocking them.
But isn't America a place created by the Europeans, no?
Yes. America
So
as a country.
Why would my black ass, if I was black, if I was black American, why would I compare? Why would I want to be part of that? Like that kind of sinful, like people that killed the native, like destroyed so many, there's so much blood on their hands. Like, why would I want to claim that? Like, I don't get it.
For the same reason that there's so much blood in Africa, but you still claim Africa. There's blood on your hands too. Listen,
I don't think so.
Listen.
We've never invaded blood. Anybody. We've never invaded any people.
These are the people. Listen, you're saying to them, why would they want to be in a white man's country that enslaved them and not home with the people that sold them into slavery? They don't really see a difference, and I don't blame them. Y'all ain't saints in Africa either. Y'all are the ones that sold them into slavery, and here you are wondering why they're not loving you like you want to be loved.
It's more complicated than that, you know.
No, you got to realize, you have to realize that y'all are not innocents in this. You're absolutely not innocent.
Nowhere on this planet that everyone is innocent. You get what I'm trying to say? There's no way you can go that, oh, people will say, oh, we're innocent of this, we're innocent of that. Nobody's innocent. I know that. You understand? Even in Africa, there's tribalism. I'm talking about like chaining people and taking them to a different land and then throwing some in the sea. And we have Africans have we have heart. We can't do that. We can't.
Worst things have happened in Africa, bro.
Like
worst
what?
things
Like
have
what?
happened. Like Africans were sacrificing people to their gods. Africans were selling people into slavery. What? That's a part of your history. That's a part of your history.
No,
come on, man.
Not.
Listen, Africa.
Sacrificing
was
people, yeah.
Yeah, sacrificing people. Have you heard of?
What part of Africa is that?
Say again.
What part of Africa? What part of Africa sacrifices their own people?
You don't know the Dahomey tribe? Never heard of the Dahomey tribe?
That's my people. Yeah, that's my people. Yeah.
Well, your people. Your people. Your people. Your people.
That's my tribe.
Your people,
the
Dahomey. Your people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your people, the Dahomey tribe.
Yeah.
Sold more African Americans into the transatlantic trade than any other Africans. Your people. And here you are coming on here wondering why they want to disconnect from you.
Have you heard of
the people that you're here claiming?
Have you heard of the Fulani people before?
I've heard of them. I'm not that familiar with them, but I've heard of them. But I am familiar with the Dahomey. The Dahomey sold more blacks into slavery than anyone else in Africa. So the Dahomey should be quite understanding of why FBA would not want to have anything to do with y'all. Especially you, bro.
Yeah, but
you should be like, I understand. What can I do to make you change? How can I be nice to make you change your mind? Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, when we started this, y'all are not innocent in this, especially you and your Dahomey tribe. Y'all are not innocent at all. And the FBA know this. Like, the same way I said that kind of subconsciously, what they're looking for is that connection that everybody else has. Also, subconsciously, what's keeping them away from y'all could be the fact that y'all sold them into slavery. That could be a part of it. And y'all got to remember, and it seems as if, let me tell you this, Corsi, it seems as if y'all just want to forget about that. Y'all just kind of forget, y'all just want to wipe that totally out of history. Right? Because even when it comes to the topic of my show tonight is reparations, right? And the AU's global, I spoke yesterday about the African Union's Global Reparations Fund, where they're asking the European countries that bought slaves from them to donate to a reparations fund. right? That they're now going to use to support African countries, Caribbean countries, and people in the diaspora everywhere. But you know who has not yet donated to that fund, and who, in my view, has no... What's going on, Carl?
Whether you having a conversation, I'm listening to the conversation.
Hey, what's up, bro? American Dream.
I'm good. How are you? Who it is, Carl or
I'm
Mr.
doing
G?
good. This is Mr. G. Hey, yeah, I'm just leaving the building, man. Just hopping the whip. I'm heading home. About to exit the garage. I'm like, I heard something. You know, I mostly agree with everything that you talk about in regards to your criticism of FBA. Obviously, you can hear the accent, unlike hey, typically how it will go would be like, wait, where are you from? Where are you from? And if you happen to not have an accent like me, they're like, no, where's your parents from? But I think you may have answered this question. Not answer the question. Well, you asked them what makes FBA wants to claim the what the brother said. Why will make the FBA want to claim this evil land and things of that nature? And I think your rebuttal to him was a bit inaccurate. If you want, I can tell you why.
Can you remind us what my rebuttal was, and can you correct it?
I think you said the same reason why you have a connection to, he got a connection to his country in Africa.
Yeah, I said they were they wanted a connection to a country, not just a connection to a continent.
Yeah, and I think that is true too. And by the way, one of the problems I have with a lot of online debates, they're usually very binary, black and white. And it's really hard for some people. And I don't want to be elitist, because I think you sound very educated yourself. But I think you'll understand when I say this. You know, some people, they are either not educated enough, or they're just too emotionally connected to the topic, and they're very binary. And for them, two things cannot be true at the same time, and it's very weird for two things to be true at the same time. Would you agree with that?
Sure, I would agree with that, but you know, I'm still trying to hear where you said I was inaccurate, and why I was inaccurate.
And this is where you are inaccurate, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this is not just my opinion, but it was my belief, and it was confirmed by an ADOS person, by an FBA person. There's a girl on here, and you probably know this channel or this channel. Her name is Dana with the data, Dana something like that. Dana, she's usually on Star. She's been on Star, and I used to follow her channel, but I had to unsubscribe to all like hot garbage. But she's an FBAN. She's part of the Church of FBA or ADOAism. I remember she was having a show, and you know how these channels are, these FBA ADOS oriented channels. It's all about shading on anything that has to do with Africa and things of that nature. And I remember I super chatted this. Are you hearing me? This is why I super chatted. And I said, if Africa was a first world power with nuclear weapon, if Africa was what the United States is, you would have never been shitting on Africa like that. And you know what she said? She said, duh.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%.
If Africa had nuclear weapon, first world country, where the iPhone came from there, Apple and all of that shit. When I said that to her, as an ADOS, she said, duh, motherfuckers want to be associated with the winner. And I'm not saying what you said with identity is not correct. You 1,000% correct. But I think there is supplemental information that in the nuance, motherfuckers think we cannot see. Motherfuckers think we cannot see, we cannot sense that. It's just like, you know, and obviously, y'all hear the accent, right? I'm Haitian. Bro, duh. If Haiti was where
What's your
the
language,
next
please?
fucking
What's your
iPhone
language,
was
Mr. G?
coming.
Mr. G.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. G.
Yeah, my
I got
my language.
children. I got children around me, so please watch your language.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I have an
Yes, sir.
18-month-old myself, and I say I need to control myself. So okay, if Haiti, the iPhone, or I don't know, maybe a
Cobalt,
maybe
diamonds,
a Mustang,
gold, platinum, uranium.
No. We can't even say those because Africa got those, you know, but they're
We
not
know that.
developed. They're not.
Listen.
They're not developed. If
It's because of the black man and them selling each other out. Listen, we don't have no self-esteem from Africa. We don't have no self-esteem from Africa.
You're correct. You're correct. No. You're correct with that. But with what I'm trying to convey, which you already agree with me, the way I was phrasing it, you know, it wouldn't be correct if I said if Diamond came out of, because Diamond came out of Congo, but you don't see these ninjas trying to claim Congo, right? But I'm just saying though, if the iPhone was coming out of Congo, which they have the raw material to do it with, if the Tesla was coming out of Congo and it was coming to the United States, all these ninjas would have claimed to be Congolese. People want to be associated with the winner. Part of the same reason when you understand white supremacy, how it goes, and again though, and I have to remind you guys, you know, being Caribbean, and the brother American dream. You know who we are. You know what I'm saying? You know, with the Maroons, and we had them in Haiti. You know who we are. I might not be a Yadman, but Yadman know about us. So I understand this nuance in white supremacy and things of that nature. This is why you see Hispanics, non-black Hispanics, they want to enter whiteness. People do not want to be associated with the loser. What is portrayed as the loser is blackness. And eventually, when I say blackness, not really just blackness, flatness, but more so Africa and overall blackness.
Let me just say this.
Go
Mr.
ahead.
G. I would agree with you that if Africa was better off, they would be more open to claiming it. I would agree with that. However, I still think that if Africa was better off, they would be more prone, because a lot of them are resistant to taking a DNA test. They don't even want to do it. And I think that if Africa was more successful, or more of what the USA is, they would be more willing to take a DNA test and find out exactly which country they come from. So they would
flip
still
it totally.
But they would still. But what I
America
get
is
that. But they would.
Africa.
Let me just finish. They would still want to have a connection to a country. That's why they would take their DNA to see which particular country they have a match with. So I still think that just being African would still not be enough. Do I think that they would be way more willing to try and figure out what country they come from? Yes, I agree with you on that. But I still think they would still be looking for that connection to a country in Africa, not just the continent.
Let me say this.
Yeah, no, I agree. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with y'all. If Africa had a good image of productivity, of wealth and excellence, Black Americans would claim their ancestry. They want to cut themselves off from Africa because we don't look at Africa and be like, look at Africa. Africa is doing great. They're prospering. Everything is good.
This is not just with African Americans, ADOS, FBA, and I think that even pertains to other folks, Afro Latinos, and me being Haitian, I have to touch base on that, and I don't really like to talk about them that much because I am in their culture. I have a wife in their culture, and my daughter is Dominican, Dominicans, Indians. If Africa was what the United States is, dark-skinned Indians would claim to be Africans. Come on, bro. Come on, man. People do not want to be associated with the loser. And by
We
loser,
understand that.
I understand what I mean.
Listen, Haiti did something in history that actually stemmed from giving America land, Louisiana trade deal with who again? With the English. That slave
With the
revolt
British,
that happened in
with the
Haiti.
French, with the French.
Listen. That slave revolt that happened in 80 when those Haitians killed those French people and got their independence, that even let America get land in Louisiana and those places.
Yeah. Yeah,
Haiti
benefited them.
has reputation of that. Haiti gave us self-esteem as black people. We can't look to Africa and get that type of self-esteem. Like they fought, they got it in blood, and they got their freedom in blood. They the first republic. Haiti could stand tall with that. Jamaicans can stand tall with Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, and people like that. But I don't see Africa standing tall with nobody. Nelson Mandela, he's a sellout. He's a sellout.
Well. I as much as I want to agree, there's some truth to what you're saying. However, you don't, know, and I'm
I have no respect for those Africans. I have no respect for them.
I have to play devil's advocate, because those countries, including Haiti, I cannot speak for Jamaica, but I think the brother American Dream can kind of confirm that. Even Jamaica too. Whenever those places have to,
Jamaicans are sellouts. Jamaicans sold themselves back into bondage. When they went to the hills, the maroon went to the hills. The white man said, "Yo, if anybody run up here and come up here, sell them back to us." The black man sold himself back into bondage. The white man will never do that. So that is in Jamaican history. That is in Jamaican history. Those people sold other black people back in the bondage.
Haitians have
You should never do that. You should never do that. You should never do that.
No.
The black man should never do that.
But my brother, you get there's some truth to what you're saying there, and no, I mean that is like factually true. I mean, some Haitians have done that too, and it's partly the reason Haiti's like that, and even I could say Jamaica too, because we black people, we like to sell each other out. But I'm talking about the modern.
So
and
why?
This is the problem
Why?
I have. No, listen. Listen. I mean, they're doing it now in Africa, and it's being done here in the United States. And the people we're discussing right now, I mean, the lineage, so to say, that's what they call it, which is kind of weird. It's not a lineage, and that's a whole different conversation. I would like to have this conversation with American Dream on another day, if about this whole lineage kind of thingy. I doubt this is a lineage. It's not a lineage based on how they are setting it up, because we went through this experience. Therefore, we are a lineage. You are not a lineage, it's that's a whole different conversation. But my brother, what you're saying, the reason I'm saying there's flow with what you're saying, you're speaking more so on the historical fact, even though I'm proud to be Haitian and what we've done. But the thing is, we're talking about the now time. It's like people, I have problem with some Haitians themselves. They be like, oh, this is what we used to be. And the same thing African Americans do too. And the similarity with Haitians and African Americans and FBAs is like, it's crazy. They like to say, speaking of Haitians, oh, we were this, we were that, we did this, we were that. People are reflecting on what you are now, currently. And the same thing with some Africans, they can tell you,
so true.
Oh, we had such and such kingdom, but what are you now? You are not doing shit now. And this is the reason you have
so true
that are so prone to shit on blackness. They are anti-black, meaning Africans, meaning anti-African, anti the continent. They are anti-Caribbean, because those places, even though they may have great history in the world, right? But currently they aren't about shit. The iPhone is not coming there, and doesn't necessarily mean the iPhone has to come from there. but it's just these places they're quite in shambles. And I cannot speak for everybody else. I know I can speak for Haiti. Haiti is in shambles, and in some of these islands they're doing way much better than Haiti and things of that nature. But people do not want, and the way to really understand it, take a step back, look at the Latinos. The Latinos, specifically the ones who are not Afro-Latino, even the ones that got some degree of brownness to them, they're trying to enter whiteness because of white supremacy. People don't want to be black.
No. Because of the image of black people. It's because of the image. You saying it right now. It's because of our image, current image right now, because the past don't matter. And I agree with you 100%. It's because of our current image.
Yes, exactly.
I agree.
Current image, our current image and our image and standing in the world. We're not when they're talking about world peace regarding the Israel and the Palestinians. You talk about Ukraine and Russia, bro. Ain't nobody thinking about just major power like Nigeria. We got Nigeria's 200 million people, because Nigeria got nuclear weapons too, and they got to sit at the table where the deal between Ukraine and Russia depends on the Nigerian. Nobody's talking like that. They are in the UN. They got some voting power.
Let's talk about how Black Americans are going to get reparation. How you think they're going to get it? You think they're going to get it by being divisive? They're not going to get it. The reason why they're not going to get it is because they're not united. They don't have an agenda. Black people, the black man in general, have no agenda. Black people are not structured. We're tribalistic. We don't have no agenda.
You think all they have to have is unity, and then they'll get it?
No, they have to take it from the white man because they deserve it. No, they have to take it. You can't ask for it. You have to take it. What you talking about? You can't ask for it. You have to take it from the white man. You can't ask for that. Common sense. How can we think like that as a black man to ask for it from the white man? You have to take it.
I do.
You deserve it, black people in America.
I do agree with you.
They deserve it, but they're not going to get it because they're not going to take it.
No. You're correct on that, what you just said now. But in the beginning, you said something about, they're not united, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it has to, but I don't think it depends on unity. And I don't really like to have opinion on what will happen and do they I know they deserve it. I'll tell you that. I want them to get it, but any further input from me, we know what they're gonna say, right? Oh man, you why are you against? I'm not against it. I want my brothers, my FBA brothers, ADOS, I want them to get reparation. However, let's be honest. They're not, as you said, this is why I said I like what you're saying regarding to they must take it, because it's not going to be given to them like that. And
I'm listening.
And you know what has happened in this country? If you understand politics, what's going on now, even white people, we're talking about, how some people be saying they like to throw FBA. They say, I don't know if that's you got the strong music in the background, but people like to say premium blacks, right? Premium blacks. The FBAs are premium blacks. Even premium whites. Premium white people are losing their health care. They're losing their benefits. Stuff that's good. Premium. When I say premium white people, I'm talking about highly racist, people that put people in power, people from Kentucky, West Virginia, poor white trash people. They're losing their benefits.
Exactly. Don't let me say something. Let me say something
Go
about
ahead.
them. Let me say something about them. Let me say something about that. Those rural white people, those racist redneck white people that don't be on the internet like ghetto black people. Those racist rural redneck Kentucky, Alabama, Mississippi,
West Virginia.
Louisiana, just those rural racist white people. I know exactly who you're talking about, but guess what? They losing everything because they're not educated. They're just like our ghetto version. They're the ghetto version of black people.
Yeah, for sure.
But they have the infrastructure. They have the white man's infrastructure. The white man infrastructure backs them. So they have they go in the army. They go in the army and go in the army.
Yeah.
I'm listening because it's kind of cutting off.
Yeah. Oh, my phone is cutting off. It's probably because I'm taking off the Wi-Fi.
They could go in the army, and they do go in the army, and they get all the benefits from the army. That's what those rural racist white people do. They go in the army to get power. That's how they get power and influence.
Well, that's not. Well, no, I'm not saying you're not correct, but I don't think even going into because I'm a military veteran myself. But even those people, they don't have power. They don't have power. But here's the thing. When you look at like white people who are voting Republican, white people that are from this district, they're losing benefits themselves. So when you not only they're losing benefits, but they're not giving them benefits. You understand what I'm saying? So in my real mind, when you look at the numbers and things of that nature, the trillions of dollars that have to be added into the debt ceiling on the book. Now again, I know the FBA person listening to me right now, they're gonna say I'm a hater, I'm against reparation. But I said this earlier. I support reparation. I want my FBA people to get reparation in whatever form.
Absolutely.
However, they have to be realistic with themselves what that reparation look like, because most people in their mind, they want to, each one of them, they want to get millions of dollars.
Hey guys, can you
They
hear me?
want to get, yeah, we hear you now.
Carl, Mr. G, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
I'm hearing y'all now. I had to go for a little drive, so that's why I've been kind of silent in my internet. Whenever I go on the drive, I'm in the suburb. Yeah, okay. So that's what I wanted to say. If y'all don't mind just holding it down. Just whenever y'all are done with your conversation, I'll just let that video rock. But I just had to go on the road for a little bit. But please continue talking, because I can hear y'all now. And I'm enjoying your conversation. So keep talking if y'all don't mind.
Copy that. But yeah, so when you look at trillions of dollars, I mean, just the little during COVID, how big was the check? There was like a $1,600 check. There was two stimulus checks. Bro, there's these small checks that was sent to all Americans. It amounted to like trillions of dollars. But realistically,
okay, what you saying? Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is it's not realistic. It's not feasible when my brothers, again, like I said, I'm not against reparation. I want them to get reparation, right? But the expectations that Shaniqua, who got 7 FBA kids, Shaniqua gonna get a check, and each one of these 7 kids gonna get a check too. Each one of those kids gonna get millions of dollars, and Shaniqua gonna get millions of dollars. That's quite unrealistic. You understand what I'm saying? So reparations in the form of some sort of a tax break, or no taxes for FBA, or guarantee free colleges if you have a certain GPA or some shit like that. I think that's more realistic, because you can convert these into millions of dollars eventually. But for you to think the government is going to give you, with a strategy, for you to think that the government, because a lot of people, they do say it, because I've heard these conversations, and I don't know if you heard them too, my brother Carl, where FBA tell you, no, they want money, they want cash. Again, I'm not against whatever. If they want gold or diamond, I'm not against that. I'm nobody. I cannot stop reparation. And the other thing too, whenever you criticize or you have some sort of opinion, they be like, oh, you're against reparation. Like my little dusty immigrant ass cannot stop reparation. You know what I'm saying? But I want them to get it, but I think they need to be realistic in what form that it will come in, because thinking that you're gonna get millions of dollars each FBA person, which is going to amount to like trillions of dollars in the debt, I don't see white people doing that.
I'm gonna say something. This may be off topic. You're into artificial intelligence?
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm studying this seriously, and they have research showing that these artificial intelligent models are showing bias against black people. I don't know if you know the history of artificial intelligence, the new artificial intelligence. They basically feed all of the they basically feed all of the internet data, all of the books, all of the internet posts, all of these videos we're making online. They feed it to these artificial intelligent models. So all of the bad things that's been said about black people on the internet, in these books, these artificial intelligent models know about it, and they're showing bias towards black people. And
yeah, that's what you're saying. They're transcribing it and plugging it into the algorithm.
Yes. All these things are showing bias against black people in America, all over the world. There's black people in general. And guess what? We're not doing. Guess what we're not doing? We're not helping to rectify this as black people, because these technological advancement is changing the world as we speak. Bitcoin is changing the world as we speak. And we're not even up to date with these things.
Well, there are some. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've heard black people talk about these things, and there are black people in IT. I'm not in I'm not like an IT professional in the heart of it. Which is something, and well, right now with the job market, some IT people are doing pretty bad. But I wish I was in that whole IT world, because they make good money, and I could have my freedom to be out of the United States like I want to. Eventually, I will do that, to be out of the United States. But no, I've heard. Obviously, the percentage of black people that's in IT, the IT industry. I mean, that's probably small, right? Because black people is only so much of a.
It's like Chinese. It's like Asian people in the NBA. It's very minute. It's very small. It's like an Asian person in the NBA.
Extremely minute, especially now. Not only that with the industry itself, but when you go into that niche that you're talking about right now, which is AI, that's like, what I'm saying. When you talk about that niche, what I'm saying, that's like even smaller, right? When you talk about AI, but there are black professionals, young men who are in IT, brothers who are in IT that talks about these things. People have been complaining about these things, right? Because they are already like you said, right? Where you have some police departments, right? They have facial recognition technology that they use.
Exactly.
That's discriminate against black people. That's getting the wrong black person locked up and things of that nature. So that's a whole like as far as
this is what's coming. That is what's coming. Listen. That is what's coming. They have algorithms, face recognition algorithms that judge your face and predict if you're going to do a crime. That's what they have right now.
Right.
and they're discriminating against black people, and it's gonna get worse for us. We're at the bottom of the bucket. I've tried to tell this guy yesterday, like, yo, what are we doing as a people? What are we doing? We're just trying to find some way to divide ourselves. I don't understand this. The black people in America. I'm gonna say this.
But
You probably
really,
disagree with me because he listen.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. You probably disagree with me. I told that guy yesterday, American Dream, that black Americans are the most intelligent black people. I told him that, and I said this is the reason why I think so, because they live under the white man's infrastructure, the white man's schooling system, the white man just whole infrastructure is built, and they're living under it because of their birthright. What you have to say about that?
I agree with the overall statement, but how you frame it, I wouldn't say it. This is something you have to say very careful, because on a bigger channel with more people more people on the panel, this will cause a whole eruption. You agree with me, right?
Listen, what are English black people doing for black people in image? And they have a good system. What are black Canadians doing for black people image? It's only black Americans that are doing things for black people image. It's only black Americans and Jamaicans and some Caribbean other people that actually keeping black people's image, because we don't get our image from Africa. You see, everybody's trying to pull away from Africa because they have a little stigma towards them. We look at them as slum people. If they was rich, we would embrace them more. But since they are poor looking people with corrupt governments, we want to attach ourselves from them. We want to call ourselves Indians now. I have Indian in my blood, but I'm not Indian. I'm black. I'm a Negro.
Cherokee.
I'm a Negro, but I have Indian. And this is a lie. Black Americans do have Indians in them, but there are more African ancestors in them than Indian people. They want to get away from African people. We don't want to attach ourselves with Africa. We rather attach ourselves with the Caribbean or Black American culture.
I agree.
But African culture.
I agree. Let me go back on what you said earlier regarding there's nothing wrong with what you said, but it's how you said it, and people do know that.
True.
You hear the conversation, the Tariq Nasheed, they be like, where you from? Where we're such and such, we're such and such, blah blah blah.
I just heard about this. I just heard about this FBA thing.
Hold on a second. And Tariq Nasheed, well, when you discover Tariq Nasheed, one of the things Tariq Nasheed and FBAs, one of the things they like to say, well, if Africa's so great, if Nigeria's so great, why do you have to come here to do it? Blah blah blah. That's because the best infrastructure is here. The white man has created the best infrastructure, the best system. But the reason that FBA, again, though, I love my FBA people. I support as a Haitian person, like
birthright.
The similarity between us, even though they might deny it, is very crazy, like crazy. But FBAs like to say, why do come here? Why you couldn't do it here? Why you couldn't be the Nigerian student? They claiming, they in Harvard, they claiming. So this is what happened. The reason that people do say that, and they think like immigrants don't understand. Immigrants understand why you're saying that. Why you saying that is because why are you here competing with us? And you're not making us look good because you are excelling in a certain field and blah blah blah. And there are some of us, even though African Americans overall, and I don't even understand why they're making these kind of claims, because overall this is African Americans' country. And when it comes to other blacks, there's more Africans excelling in those fields. There's more FBAs excelling in those fields than Africans and stuff of that nature. I don't know why
exactly.
they feel like that.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Exactly. You're 100. You're observing the world similar to how I'm observing the world. So I'm glad to talk to you. I'm gonna say this. I talked to a FBA today, and he was like, tether people come and try to undermine them. And I'm saying to myself, y'all really believe that? Y'all really believe that?
So that's not. It's a generalized statement. What they're doing is they're looking at a Candace Owens, and this is my problem with it, right? They're like, oh, look at the Candace Owens, yeah. But at the same time, Candace Owens didn't learn. You know who Candace Owens learned to be a coon from? Conservative FBAs. Conservative FBAs. The Clarence Thomas, Justice Clarence Thomas, who's on the Supreme Court right now, he's a major coon. The Larry Elder, these are FBA conservatives, but they will take that one immigrant, that one a child of an immigrant, like Candace Owens. They'll be like, see, look at what's the guy? He's a black congressman from Florida. Yeah, what's his name? He's a coon. He was calling Trump daddy. Yeah, he was calling Trump daddy and stuff like that. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all can put it in the chat for me. But they will take this guy and they will say, see, immigrants are undermining us. But the thing is there are some immigrant coons, there are some Caribbean coons, some African coons, and now they're trying to make the face of black coons immigrants, while there's a bunch of black FBA conservatives who are coon too. That's what I don't like. But the whole undermining us, it's not true. There's just a couple of children of immigrants who were born here who are in position of media. But overall, the whole conservative media, whatever, is mostly FBA conservatives.
Okay. Guys, you guys up there. I just found out about this FBA thing like a year ago, and I'm saying Black Americans really feel this way about Jamaicans, and I don't care about them African people. Africa is a disappointment to me. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog, because Africa is a disappointment, dog. Africa should be up, G. Africa is the Garden of Eden, dog. Africa has mineral resources that is rich. The black man in Africa is a sellout, yo. The black man in Africa is a sellout. I have no respect for Africans. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Apartheid? How could apartheid happen? Colonization? How can the black man let that happen? How can the black man let the man come on his terrain and dominate him? Because of tribalism.
Yeah, tribalism is definitely that, right? So they're able to divide and conquer, whereas white people, even white people got tribalism too now. Don't think it's like
that is human nature. Obviously, that is human nature. Tribalism is human nature. Crips and Bloods are tribes. Democrats and Republicans are tribes. The Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers are tribes. It's tribes. Black people, white people are tribes.
No. Well. The way I agree with you, but yeah, don't go into sports or tribes and stuff like that. Let's be more.
I'm giving you an example.
So you have Europeans, like Europeans have been fighting as much as, but they're white. So here in the in the new world, when it comes to like slavery and things of that nature and imperialism, they just kind of invented that white thing and the class and the color, which is like a social class and things of that nature. But
I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
America is not black, white, Indian, Asian. America is strictly about money. You could be a poor or a rich white person. If a black person has more money than you and have more influence than you get knocked. America is strictly about cash. So when FBA talk about people coming there to undermine them, they feel insecure about something because they're not prospering. Asians are coming over there and doing better than black Americans as a whole. Asians have more respect because Asians get in government and Asians get in tech. Tech and government is what's running the world, and finance.
Yeah, so let's slightly go back to that tribal thing. So you were correct, but even with Asian, there's denominations of Asians, right? Even Indians, right? There's denominations of Indian. Even European, there's denominations of European that that are just that's how the Europeans had these wars and things of that nature. Europeans have had a bunch of wars, right? They've been fighting amongst themselves.
You probably disagree with me, but I don't care. You're probably going to disagree with me. As a whole, listen to me very carefully. This is what I believe. As a whole, Europeans are more intelligent than Africans. Africans are superior when it comes to rhythm. When it comes to dancing, when it comes to fighting, fist fighting, Africans are superior when it comes to physicality and rhythm. Europeans as a whole are more intelligent than black people. That's why Europeans conquer black people. That's why black people are subservient to Europeans because we lack intelligence as a whole. And we got that from Africa. And we got that from Africa. All we do is dance and gyrate. We don't want to do nothing else.
No. You're being don't be so. I'm big on science, right? Because it sounds like you wouldn't be against science. You will welcome science. Like you will like science.
I love science. I believe in agriculture. I believe in agriculture, energy.
Hold on a second. It sounds like somebody like Neil deGrasse Tyson. You probably would love, you love Neil deGrasse Tyson. So
I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. Listen, he's not 100%. He's not 100% African. He's not 100% African. You can look at Neil deGrasse Tyson and tell he's not 100% African.
He's Afro. He's FBA Cuban. His mother's Cuban. Puerto Rican? No, Puerto Rican. His mom is Puerto Rican descent.
Listen, the history of the black man and the white man. Listen, the history of the white man and black man is that the white man leveraged black people for human labor. And now white people are leveraging black people for entertainment. The only thing that black people are doing right now is entertainment.
Oh my God.
Entertainment.
Slow down. I don't know. Is there a delay on my thing, bro? Slow down. So when you listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about like the variety in Africa, as far as like he talked about this exact same thing he just talked about, intelligence. Africa got some of the smartest. You got ranges because you are processing it through the wrong eyes as far as like being conquered and things of that nature. There's a bunch of from shore to the tallest in Africa. So intelligence varies. So you can't say it like that. So you can't take imperialism, colonialization, and just be like, boom, this is proof that they are smarter. I don't think it means that, right? So it's almost like you kind of want to say that, like, well, the nerdy guy who creates this whole infrastructure and who's living on this compound, and you got a bunch of thugs, hood niggas who come and steal his shit, take his shit. No, those guys are smarter than him. You can't say that. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm listening.
You can't say they're more intelligent because these guys are thugs. They come with big guns and whatever, and it just took this guy who created this nice compound and shit like that, and he built all these things. Listen, right? You can't say they're smarter.
That interaction, listen, Listen, that interaction with the Europeans and the Africans in sub-Saharan West Africa said a lot about the black man. The white man came to your terrain. The white man had no intelligence of your terrain, and he came out victorious. He leveraged your people. He leveraged and moved and transplanted your ancestors and my ancestors to a new area because Indians were dying because they were bringing disease, and Indians couldn't tolerate that and move you now to a new place. The reason why you're a Haitian is because of the white man. The reason why I'm a Jamaican is because of the white man.
So I'm gonna ask you this question, and that will kind of gauge, because I don't know what range. Because one of the best experience of my life and many other people is the benefit.
Who was running the world? Who was running the world? Who was running the world? Who was running the world with a nuclear weapon? Who? Who's running the world with a nuclear weapon?
Hold on, bro.
Europeans.
Hold on, my brother. Hold on. So, being able to have been born in another country and understand and moving to the United States at a young age. Yeah, you might want to put that TV down a little bit. It's very loud. That's why, bro, you can't hear me.
I'm hearing you clearly.
Yeah, the TV is very loud. But one of the best thing is like having that perspective that most people don't get to have. And I kind of want to ask so I can gauge your understanding of like Africans when they see, not just Africans, but black people living in fully black countries when they see white people. And if you understand that perspective, were you fully born in the States all your life, or did you spend some time in Jamaica? Were you born in Jamaica?
Listen, I was born in Jamaica. I left when I was 8 years old to America for 15 years. Came back when I was 23. Listen, if it wasn't for American schooling system.
At 8 years old, you may have not gotten that under, but you should have. This is what happened. You understand? You do understand that if I go to Africa right now, and if I take a homeless man, the homeless man that's asking me for $1, the homeless man a couple weeks ago I gave $1 on the street. The homeless white man. You do understand? If I take him to Jamaica, if I take him to Africa, they're gonna think he's richer than me. You do know that, right?
Obviously, I was gonna say that. What are you talking about? I was gonna say that they're gonna think he's better because he's white and he's rich. I was gonna say that. What are you saying?
So you have to understand the mindset, because when you're saying these things, there's nuance, and I'm sure you sound very smart. You know what nuance mean. There's a nuance in this conversation when you're saying, oh, the white man is smarter, the white man this, the white man that. There's a nuance you have to understand. Listen. Historically speaking, when you said, oh, they came to your land and conquer you, blah, 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 there's a nuance you have to understand. And the other day I watched a video where this girl, she explained.
Tell me the nuance. Enlighten me to the nuance. Enlighten me to the nuance, please. Get to your point, please.
The nuance is the stuff that the white men value or find values in, especially people in these old times. And even now, Africans don't value these things. They don't process information the way the Europeans process information. They don't process things the same way.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. I agree with you 100%. They don't value the things that the Europeans value. And guess what the Europeans value? Guess what they value? They value technology. They value science. These are high-level things that makes you run the world and dominate everywhere you go. They value art.
But you can't say just those things though. They value blood, killing, and money. and money and things of that nature. So when you go to an African
obviously
system,
the white man is the most destructive man on this earth. He's polluting the ozone layer. He's destroying the earth. Obviously, I know this. Obviously, I know this. What are you talking about? Obviously, I know the white man is destructive.
I'm gonna ask you a very simple. I'm gonna ask you a
The
very
evil run
simple
the world.
question.
The evil run the world.
Let me ask you a simple question, and that will sort of really recalibrate you, because and I don't like to say this, but I don't like to say when I'm talking to somebody, but like to say, oh, you're emotional, and it may sound like the person is being insulting, but it's not insulting, because I get like that too. When I'm passionate, you're very passionate about this thing. But let me ask you, have you seen videos on Facebook or on YouTube about the Adzebe tribe?
Every
Dudukwe
time I
and
look on the internet and I see Africans, they're dancing.
Stop. Do you know about the Adzebe tribe, Dudukwe, and what's the other guy name? And Shaba. You don't know the Adzebe tribe.
Enlighten me. What country they come from?
Tanzania.
I know the Hutsi and Tutsi, they fighting over nose size.
No.
They fighting over if your nose is flat or if your nose is pointed.
No, you're missing the point.
It's a disappointment.
You miss it. Let me type it. Let me type it in back for you. Well, I'll type it in the chat. I think it's spelled like this: Adzebe
Listen,
tribe.
I'm not saying the white man is better than black people. I say they are more intelligent as a whole.
No.
I'm looking.
Yeah, put that in Google real quick. Because there's a very nuance. Those things you're saying in the past, I have said those things too. But there's a level, I don't know. It sounds like you're in your 20s, so I'm 40 years old, by the way. So, and I'm not trying to use your age against you, but what I'm trying to, he's not ignorant. Well, ignorant in that word, it can kind of make sense, can be applicable as far as like there's some things he doesn't know. Ignorant a lot of times it means that, right? And ignorant can also means like you're stupid, but there's some things he doesn't know. What I'm trying to show him is this, right? When you look at the Adzebe, I think that's a great fucking analogy. When you look at the Adzebe tribe, these people in their tribe, they are hunter-gatherer right now in 2025. They're eating monkeys and everything. They eat monkeys. Did you Google the Adzebe tribe?
No, because I'm not seeing it in the text, honestly. But I'm listening.
You don't see it in my in the main chat. Let me type it in the back chat, because that's probably where you're looking at. There you go. I put it right here in the back chat. Yeah, of course, Frank. FBA has done so many great things. But what I want to show him is that, because he has this black and white thingy where the Ethiopians, they have don't say that, Infinity. What how can black people let these people come on their land and conquer them, blah blah blah. I think I have said that to myself in the past. But when you have to observe the Adzebe tribe. And I'm not saying all of Africa are like the Adzebe tribes. They were like that in the past. But I think, a lot of Africa have come over into the modern civilization. There's some things they do, there's some things they don't do. They have gotten more somewhat Europeanized and, you can say, civilized. When you look at the Adzebe tribe, they're literally hunter-gatherer right now in 2025. Guys, some of you guys who know the Adzebe tribe, you've seen their videos on YouTube and Facebook. Do you think the Hadzabe tribe value money until these motherfuckers went over in their tribe and give him money and then they can go to town and buy things? Do you think the Hadzabe tribes is walking around valuing money, valuing certain things? No. They got everything they want right there in their land. They are a hunter-gatherer. Their value system is completely different. When you look at the Hadzabe tribe, this is prime example. You can see how a white person or a black person in 2025 can go to their tribe and conquer them. I don't know if Carl fell off, but guys in the tribe is what I'm. Oh, he fell off. Guys in the chat, is what I'm saying correct? When you look at the Hadzabe tribe, can you see how? And I hope when you log off, you went and looked at the Hadzabe tribe. When you look at the Hadzabe tribe, can you see how even my fucking dusty ass can go to Africa right now and conquer them? The innocence.
Mr. G.
Yes, sir.
Mr. G, you're ODing on the cursing, sir. You're saying a lot of good stuff. I like what you're saying, but just watch your language for me, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
But guys in the chat, can you see how you can leave America right now?
Okay.
You can go to Africa right now and conquer the Hadzabe tribe. Carl, you can leave America right now. You can go over there right now and conquer the Hadzabe tribe. With this, they're still using spears. I said in Africa. You can leave Africa right now. Go to Tanzania and conquer a Hadzabe tribe. Cannot you?
Listen, it's all about black prosperity. If at the end of the day, that is what I want. But I feel like the black man is not. You're saying that we could go over there and conquer them. It's not about that. It's about black prosperity to me. And Africa is not united. It's disappointing.
You're not.
It's disappointing.
You are not. I'm giving you a good example. I don't think you know the Hadzabe tribe. I don't think you do. Bro, let me tell you something. The Hadzabe tribe, they recording them. You give them a mirror. They look at the mirror. They're like, oh my God. I'm talking about these type of people. Yeah. You do not understand what I'm saying, bro.
Then tell me what you're saying. Okay.
The Hadzabe tribe. Do you understand what hunter-gatherer mean?
Yes, definitely.
The Hadzabe tribe, they live in the desert. They live in the wild. They hunt.
I'm pretty sure I saw them on the video. They're not completely that dark. They're kind of real, like they have a brown skinish undertone to them.
They're dark. They're dark as hell. If you can click out, you can open another tab on your phone and look at the Hadzabe tribe.
I'm not.
You have to. You have to. If you look at if you just Google Hadzabe tribe, you'll see what I'm saying. I think it's a great example. When people say, "Oh, how can they went over there and conquer them?" Blah, and I'm not saying all Africa are like the Hadzabe tribe.
All right, spell it. Let me spell it.
HADZA BE.
Yeah, I see it right now. Let me see. Let me look right.
Look at them. Just look at. You can just look at the pictures alone.
They're not that dark, but yeah, you have.
Yeah, they're very well. They live in the sun. Do you see their condition?
They have people like this in the Amazon. What is? Yeah.
Yes.
You have Indians like this. So what is that? What is you saying?
Yes, what I'm trying to tell you, these people, if you give them an iPhone, that's not even turned on. They might think it's a brick. They might throw it. They might take it and go hunt with it and throw it at a monkey that they're trying to kill. What I'm trying to tell you, the innocence again.
Exactly.
That there's nuance to what I'm saying. You're saying exactly, but you're not soaking what I'm saying. Africans did not value, even till this day, they're kind of like that. but they have gotten to the point where they want money, they want all these things, and that's partly why Africa is the way that it is right now.
It's
because the
because of
leaders
the
are
white
stealing the
man
money.
capitalistic system.
Well, that's because they have came over
The
into
white
the
man's capitalistic
European
system.
into the European value system, which is money and things of that nature. So when you're judging them from the European eyes. What I'm trying to tell you,
Okay,
Africans,
okay.
you
Okay,
understand what I'm saying?
I see you
So
now.
I was, yeah,
Okay.
you see who I'm talking about, right?
Yes. Which is true. You just enlightened me to something that's very profound.
Exactly, guys, in the chat, you see what's happening right now. If you guys in the chat don't know the Hadzabe tribe, Google them real quick. Y'all see what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is, and obviously not all, and I must put a caveat in this, not all of Africa is like the Hadzabe tribe. They're unique. But I think they are prime example when some people are very naive, they have a different value system. The other day on Instagram, this African sister, I think she's actually from either Tanzania or somewhere in East Africa, and she was explaining something. The concept of time for African used to be or is different. I say used to be or
Let me
is
say that.
different, right? Well, hold on a
Let me say this.
second. Hold on. Wait.
Okay.
The concept of time in the European and the white man system is just time moving forward. And she explained, this is deep. This is some deep shit. The way she explained it, and you can understand, you know how they say CPT time? You can understand, even for us black people, why time is different. The concept of time in the African system, well, that African system she was explaining, is more so in the past. So you have to build time, and you will see an African sitting under a tree. They're waiting, and them waiting is they're making time. They're making, whereas the white man system is a concept forward, right? So these kind of things that there's extreme nuance, and sometimes it's so gray that it's really hard to make a person understand. But when you are judging it from a white man perspective, you're like, man, that is stupid, man. You let them conquer you, yada yada, blah blah blah. But there are levels of ignorance and innocence. It's like looking at a child and you're like, man, oh, how can this child? And I know this is a stupid analogy, right? Because a child is weak, is less powerful than an adult. But the way of thinking, the way they process things is a bit different. And speaking of science, right? Because earlier I talked about science, and I got this from Neil deGrasse Tyson. Do you know what Christopher Columbus did to the Indians in the West Indies? Christopher Columbus understood science. He understood solar eclipse. He understood solar eclipse. Do you know what Christopher Columbus did to the natives in the West Indies? He knew there was
that
a dark
Hispaniola? What you saying? Say what you saying.
Hispaniola, that region. You know what he did? He told them, if you don't give your gold, God is gonna get mad, and then the sky is gonna get dark, blah blah. You know what a solar eclipse is, right? You know what a solar eclipse is,
when
right?
the moon turn red. Yeah.
When it's dark during the day. He tricked them. He used that
Are you
as a
sure about
method
that?
to. I got it from the mouth of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
And I don't know how true that is, but you can see that happening, right? You go somewhere, these people don't know. They don't know. They don't know science like that. They haven't calculated these things. They're not thinking about planets and shit like that. And then they're like, oh my God, this guy told us it's gonna be dark. Oh my God, let's give him our goal. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't
Well,
know,
you
bro.
made me understand that. Listen, you made me understand that I'm seeing it from a European perspective. Which can you blame me? I was born in a European conquered image of schooling system and all that. Can you blame me though?
Yeah, yeah,
You made me see something that is true. You made me see
yeah,
something that's true, which I understand now. Now I'm gonna
and
look at it different now. Aspect.
and you know what? There are even some smarter people that could debunk what I kind of say. Oh no, that could kind of deep. But there were Africans who fought back now. So don't say like, oh, how can they let them conquer them? There were Africans who fought back because there were earlier. I heard the brothers on uh, Dahomey. Dahomey, because it's Dahome. That's how it's spelled. Dahomey. The kingdom of Dahomey. The kingdom of Dahomey was big. You and I, you being Jamaican and me being Haitian, I know big Haitians, with voodoo and stuff. We'll talk about Dahomey. We'll talk about the kingdom of Dahomey. Dahomey, a lot of us were from Dahomey. We're probably from that whole enclave, and I could be wrong, but Dahomey, a kingdom encompasses a bunch of countries, right? Like it could be a countries in a certain regions, the Congo region. A lot of us,
It has to be West Africa. It has to be West Africa. It has to be West
West
Africa.
Africa. A lot of us we're from a certain kingdoms. So we're literally like cousins, African Americans, ADOs, FBAs, and Jamaicans, Haitians. We're literally cousins and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like these were kingdoms. They went to war. They were conquering people. So they weren't. I'm not saying they were like all stupid and innocent as they
I
had to
never
be
said that.
tried. No, no, no.
I
I'm
never
only
said
saying.
it was like they stupid.
No, 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 no.
Okay,
I'm making
okay.
that statement. I'm making that statement. But they had weapons too. They fought back. And matter of fact, isn't it Ethiopia that was never conquered? Is it Ethiopia or Somali? I think it was Ethiopia. They were never conquered. Conquered. So don't say it like that, because I think there's tons of
Listen,
nuance in the
I'm
history.
gonna say
And
something.
then due to the fact that Africans, Africans didn't have a system of record keeping like the Europeans have. So Europeans write the history. You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
say
So,
something.
you know.
Let me say something. Well, you make some great points, and you always saying the things that I say too. The documentation culture, we don't have that. We don't document anything. Chinese, Asian people do it. Europeans do it, and we don't. We do our voodoo, we do our tribalism, and we do our ritual dances. That's what we gravitate to. So now the white man's way of things engulfed us. I'm
Right,
not saying
right.
it's the right thing. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but that is just the facts. The white man moved us to Haiti, to Jamaica, to Cuba, to Brazil, everywhere, Colombia, everywhere, America. He moved us. That did happen, and now we're here.
Right.
So what is our agenda as a people now? See, black people in America, they want to cut off from Africa, which they can't do. They can't do that. Even if they
Well, we
tried,
are a
they
product. We
claiming
are
they claiming they
products.
Indians.
Well, we are
They
prisoner of
claiming they
war. We are a
Indians.
product. We are a product of the conqueror. We are a product of the white man. And you have
And
to
look,
have
the white
grace. You
man, the
have to have
white
grace. You have to have grace for FBA people, bro. They are a product of the conqueror,
I
because the
respect
conqueror
FBA.
is mhm. They are simply
Let me say
imitating their
this.
parents. They're imitating their
It seems like
parents,
we're off
which is
sync.
the
We're
white
off
man.
sync. We're not having a good conversation. Exactly. But let me say this. Let me say this, please. The white man cares about capital. That's what his country is about. America is strictly about capital. So you could be white or black, Indian, Asian, as long as you have capital, you could have as long as you have your financial freedom, you have something. You disagree?
Can you
You
hear me
got
now, bro?
muted. I'm hearing
Yeah.
you now because
So,
you was just
so
muted.
yeah, I agree with you. But here's the thing, though. You're talking about capital, and that's my problem with um you know our FBA ADOS brothers. Um, you know, niggas ain't niggas ain't fighting for true liberation. Niggas just want to sit closer at the table, closer. They're like, man, look at this Nigerian with his PhD. He's sitting at the table, and I'm further from the table. They're like they all want to be closer to the table. Nobody's trying to break the table. People are not fighting against capitalism. And people always say that, like true black liberation, thought think tank. They always tell you this: black capitalism won't save black America, won't save black people. Capitalism won't save black people. And a lot of people, they just want a better position in this capitalistic system. But niggas ain't really truly fighting to destroy the system. You hear me, or are you on mute? The brother must be on mute.
No, I heard you though. I heard you though.
Yeah,
But
he
I
fell off.
said
He
that.
must have had something to do.
Yeah. Mr. G, like you say a lot of good things. You seem like an intelligent guy, but every now and then your language just
I'm
kind of runs
sorry,
away with you.
man.
I consider the N word to be a curse word as well. You know what I
Oh
mean? So
yeah.
I am trying to build like a little bit of a different channel where we can have conversations without cursing or you know what I mean, using those types of words. Where are you from again, Mr. G?
Haiti. I left when I was
Haiti.
13 years old. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you
And I
learned how to
mean,
use the N word when you came here. They don't use the N word in Haiti, do they?
they do, and that's another interesting thing because with the FBA in FBAism, they're like, oh, you don't use the N word, but no, people, we're French, right? Not we're French, but like we're French speaker, kind of like how Jamaicans are, like they're pretty much English, the English speakers, but it's like patois. Creole is like patois is like the patois of French, and patois is like obviously patois of English. You understand what I'm saying, right?
I got you.
So literally in French, the word for black is noir. Just like how French and Spanish is close. The word for black is noir. In Spanish, noir, black is negro. Like they say Negro, the Negro League, Negro. So they also call us nègre. Nègre, which is instead of Negro with the O, you take the O away from it, you put another E. It's nègre. Nègre. So we call each other nègre, which means Negro. Instead of saying, the Nigga, the person might say Nig. What's up, my Nig? We say neg, which in French means it's a Negro. Like a Negro.
And it's used in the same way that we use nigger up here. It's in the same way.
It doesn't have the historical context, but when we talking, we say negio. The Negroes, we say negio don't want to do it. Negio means the Negroes. When we say negio, we're referring to a man, to a brother, negla. This man doesn't want to. This neg. So we say neg. We use neg, which is come from Negro in Spanish. In French, is nègre. It's very funny when I hear to some of these conversation with like African American, like the word Negro and even NIGGA, they have this extreme claim to it, and they're just like, well, you know, so if you go to because I have a daughter in Dominican Republic. If you go to Dominican Republic, what they'll call you is like Moreno, hey Moreno. And then there's a whole discussion with the word Negro too, but they do have Negro in their culture too. But they will say Moreno, especially in Dominican Republic, because it's like the people, if you call somebody Negro, they can kind of take it as like an offense. But they call you Moreno, Moreno. What they're calling you is really pretty much a Negro, 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 Negro. Moreno, Moreno. We use neg. Look up. Say
how
what?
Old? How old is that word neg? How long have you been
neg has been in the thing forever. In Spanish, you have negritude.
It's been a Latin word. It's been a Latin word.
It's been a Latin word.
Sure, I get that. I was just wondering how long Haitians have been using that word neg.
Way before we were, way before we even know the United States existed. Neg. Negress, you know, for a French, for a woman, we'll say, man, if a person love like beautiful black woman, like, you know, like let's say a woman with an afro, the person could say, you know, I love negress, which is the feminine, you know, in French and Spanish, again though, think of history, the explorers, the conquistador.
Yeah.
Conquistador, which is in Spanish, the conquist. I know, literally in English is almost the same word. The conquistador, the conquerors, the original conquerors, the explorers. Remember, the map makers, Marco Polo, Spanish. This slavery shit. I'm sorry. This slavery thing is rooted in Spanish culture. Spain had a major was the major playmaker, probably the first playmaker.
No, man, I think it was Portugal, but they close to each other. But let me say this.
Well, you're right. You're correct. I stay corrected. Yes.
Let me say this. Before I dropped off, you was talking about Nigeria and them being closer to the table. The reason why the Nigerian could get close to that table is because that Nigerian has more merit than that Black American, because America is a meritocracy, and it's strictly about merits to climb up the ladder, or entrepreneurialism.
You're not going to get any argument from me about that, but I think you missed what I was saying about capitalism. The point that I was making is that these FBA, my FBA brothers, my FBA ADOS brothers, people that are really into FBAism, when they're arguing, they're just more so arguing. The reason I said something about the FBA, the reason I said something about the Nigerian that's closer to the table, you really hear an FBA arguing about this guy who's just closer to the table. And I was speaking about capitalism, but I was saying though, the FBA person just want to be closer to the table too, but they're not really, they don't really want to break this system and destroy this capitalism system. Because, and I said this one thing before you log off, you didn't hear it. Black capitalism and people that are in, and if you've been in black spaces, I don't know if you're like a true Pan-Africanism, if you've heard black people, you hear like black thoughts, people that are rich in black ideologies and black thoughts, right? Negritude.
Those Afrocentric people.
Afrocentric people. Afrocentric in French we'll say negritude. Negritude. In people that are into negritude. Negritude is Afrocentrism. Negritude. If you look up the word negritude, Afrocentrism. Again, that comes from the word neg that we Haitians have been using way before even free from slavery.
Negro is a Latin word, ain't it? Negro.
It's come from that word Negro, and in
Sub-Saharan Africa.
In French, Negro is nègre, which is almost the exact same word. You dropping the O is nègre.
Okay.
We've been calling each other nègre. Côte nègre yo, côté nègre yo. Where are the nègres? Which is what they call it in Black African Americans. Say like, oh, why you use the N word? We have our own N word. It's nègre. It's translated in French. Nigger, Nigga comes from the word negro that the Spanish had.
But like you said, though, you did mention, Mr. G, that it doesn't have the negative connotation.
It doesn't have the historical connotation when they were killing somebody and whatnot. And even that is to be studied, because ignorant Americans, meaning like racist, redneck, real racist people back in the days, and even Americans now, when they take a word, there's a bunch of French word in English language. And when people say in lieu of is en lieu is lieu, but you can pronounce that in English. Touche. There's a bunch of word, they're French word. So when the white man took, just like if your name is something in French, by the time your third, fourth generation just been here in America, that name done been changed. It done been anglified. They done anglicize that name to an English thingy. So negro, it's something that some ignorant white person take and they add NGGGR to it. But negro, but they still had negro. They call it Negro League, the Negro Basketball League, and all of that stuff.
What you think about black people's prosperity? That's because that ultimately, you hear me talking? That's what really, like, what I'm really trying to get at. Like, what is our prosperity? We see other people prospering, but I don't feel like black people are prospering. I don't feel that way. I'm sorry.
Are you talking about like black people overall, Africa, and the whole
overall? What you talk overall? Please, overall, black people overall.
I did answer that question. I did answer that question. And as somebody who's from Haiti and who see what's going on in Haiti, my proposal and only way for us. Here's the thing, right? You have all these people that are poor in Haiti, I almost say Cambodia, but
can you get to the point, please?
Hold on. I'm gonna make you see this. I answered the question. You saying, because what you judging in and the standards that you judging about us, that progress is again through that Europeanized capitalistic way. The only way.
Listen,
is for us to have our own standard, because we can never build, like China. Even China, there's a bunch of poor people in China, right?
China is running the world, man. Stop talking about China like China is not running the world. China is running the world right now. America is not running the world. It's China.
You misunderstand what I'm saying, bro. Yes, China, but there's a lot of poor people in China. Again, though, the population in China is really high. They have a numerous number of people, a citizen in their country. I don't think Africans and black people as a whole going off of this capitalistic standard is good for us. I think the best way, because this is what happened, right? You have people that got money.
I'm gonna say this. I agree with you 100%, and I'm gonna say this. I agree with you 100%. We should focus on agriculture.
Yeah. Oh no, you cannot not focus on that. You cannot not focus on that. But let me the brother in the chat. Who was that? Timothy? What's his name? No, Daddy. He said, "Stop it, Mr. G." What was it that you said? Stop it. Stop it regarding what? So I can address it. But you're right. But then again, though, you're not thinking deeper. You're just saying it on the surface level. What happened to agriculture here in the United States? There are fake scarcity that's built. Fake scarcity that's built. So Yes, you're right about agriculture, but guess what? They use agriculture to shut you down where you can't grow your own food, where it's control. Capitalism is cruel. It's based on people, somebody exploiting somebody else, and everybody's not gonna be a damn Elon Musk. Everybody's not gonna be a damn Bill Gates.
I don't like that racist white boy. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe that racist white boy.
But the way
I don't like that racist white boy.
And the way you're able to put all these white Americans, including Black Americans and Hispanics and everybody who's here in the United States, in that sort of mental bondage to really lock them in with this whole project of capitalism. We all think one day we all hope, we all think one day one of us gonna be an Elon Musk, one of us gonna be a Bill Gates. We all think that. That's why we keep working hella hard, keep working at it. But that's not true. When you look into when you listen to obviously some of y'all, if y'all listening to my train of thought, y'all can tell like I'm somewhat, I can be classist, but I'm very anti-elite. Even though I can be a little bit elitist at times, but I'm very anti-capitalism, right? Because once I've done my reflection on this whole system, right? Me being 40 years old, I don't know some of you guys, how old some of you guys are. You guys remember like 2008, right? The housing market being crashing, houses was cheap, and people losing their houses. You guys remember that, right? Oh, you guys probably heard of that when you guys were a kid, little boy. Right? So it's supposed to be like this cycle where, now it's your time to lose and capitalism is based on a zero sum concept. Somebody got to lose, somebody got to win. It's cruel. And if Black people around the world, people in Africa, people in other places, they think, what we got to do is compete harder. And then we're going to join this capitalism thing. And then we're going to catch up. I'm not saying it may not work, but like, I think it's the wrong fight. Oh, you said you was referring to the N-word. The N-word, the explanation I gave to the Haitian context of it. Like Haitians use neg all the time. Like I can literally pull like, you can pull lyrics of Haitian rap songs where obviously if they say nigga, they will say the N-I-G-G-A. But if they say neg, it'll be like neg yo pensé, neg yo, neg la, this, that man. It's pretty much mean that man. It pretty much mean man, but we use neg. And I'm not making it up. It's in French. Les nègres. Les nègres. If you speak French and you listen to French, it's not associated with Haitian, just like 50-50. Just 50-50. So it's not associated with Haitian. The N-word is not associated with Haitians, just like 50-50. That's like 50-50. So people say the N-word here again, that because there was the N-I-G-G-E-R, it has that historical context of being lynched and things of that nature. But you're not going to tell me Spanish people don't use the word negro. Mi negro. Negrita. In Spanish they use negrita. So you're going to tell me they don't use negrita? So you tell me in French they don't say nègre, les nègres, les nègres. On parle des nègres, de les nègres. We're talking about les nègres. If you're Pan-Africanist, French Pan-Africanist, French colonies, they will talk about les nègres. I mean, it's literally the N-word. What's the N-word? The N-word is coming from negro. You can't tell me it's not from that, bro. can't tell me it's not from that. So that would be, I mean, but it's not, we don't call it the N word. It's just like we use neg. Like Spanish use negro. Spanish are not saying el palabra ene. El palabra ene. Palabra meaning word. They're not saying el palabra ene because it doesn't have that historical context to it. But negro, negrita, negrito. You ever seen like a cute Spanish mommy? Negrita, morenita.
yo, Mr. G.
It's really hard for me. We see, and I'll say this, right? Knowing a lot of stuff, is very frustrating, right? Because we can see somebody discussing something in a very messed up way, and where that doesn't make sense, it just making, and then you knowing things, and it's like it hurts you. That N word thing is like that's been one of the things. Like, man, you guys we use neg.
Mr.
What you
G,
mean, 2 different words?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Go ahead.
I'm saying I got cut off again. I really want to hear your thing about. I know you're talking about that N word, whatever.
No, go ahead.
What you think about black people prosperity? What it may seem redundant, but I didn't hear you. So can you just get straight to the point?
We will have to reject, and that's the point I was trying to make. In earlier, you missed that what I said about capitalism. Capitalism, we're not, because when you're saying black people prospering, there's a standard. What are the standard of the prosper? What's the threshold? What's the standard? Now you say,
I agree with
prosperous.
You. We know what prosperity is. When your community is affluent and as a whole, no violence. If you're gonna be married, no high divorce rate. Your health is good. You're passing things down to your next kin. These things, obvious things that align with prosperity. You know what prosperity means.
Yeah. So I answered the question, and this is the thing, right? And I'm gonna have to Adzebe you again. I'm gonna have to Adzebe tribe you again. So everything you said, I don't disagree with that. You talking about, I guess you more so you kind of you slightly you spill a little red pill juice on me. Talking about, no. I'm not accusing you. I'm not accusing you. No. But because you said a little thing about the family, blah blah blah. Okay, I'll take that back about the red pill.
No, I'm talking about your mother, and if you have kids, you take care of your kids. I'm talking about your mother, and if you have kids, you take care of your kids.
You said families and things of that nature. Well, it goes back. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record with the whole capitalism kind of thingy, but capitalism hinders a lot of these things, right? Even, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go there, and I cannot not go there, right? Even regular day-to-day relationship with people, let's say dating, capitalism affect that. Even day-to-day relationship with even your neighbor or people you meet on the street, capitalism affect that.
You sound like what? You don't like capitalism?
You're just not realizing that? Come on, bro. We can listen to Kwame Ture. I mean, you listen to, you have to dig deep into your bag of Pan-Africanism and understanding things. And if you're a real Pan-African, are you a Pan-Africanist?
No, I'm not even Afrocentric. I just want my people to be prosperous because I feel like those are tribalistic things that put us in groups.
That in effect is that though, bro. And I know these words, because now on the internet, they co-opt everything, right? You know how the word woke, you know what, I'm sure you know, you might be young, but I know you know what woke used to mean, right?
No, I know what it means now. It being like being a Democrat, or something like that.
True. Somebody get somebody in the chat there. See, he doesn't know about the whole and I'm not a Hotep person. You know what a Hotep is, right?
I hear those terms. I don't know nothing about it.
Oh,
I
what
hear
are you?
those
20? What
terms.
20? What are you? 22?
No, G, I'm 31.
Oh wow. So you is a lot of things you don't know, and in the context of some conversation, you might get lost. So now they hijack the word. They hijack the word woke. But woke, that's not what woke means. Woke, it simply means you're not asleep, which I mean verbatim based on typical etymology of the word. I mean the definition of the word, okay, of course, woke, you mean
Excuse
you're
me.
sleeping. But you know what it means. Like, it was woke. It's like when people talk about, yeah, man, the CIA, da da da. So woke, and the whole Hotep was kind of like softcore Hotepism, where we understand something. You and I, you see that? It's like something happened. It's like, say, like, you and just other black guy, y'all work in the building, right? It's just you and just black guy, and you're like, bro, you saw that, man? Yeah, man, I'm woke, man. It's like, yeah, I saw that shit. And we're not even talking about like it could be something very subtle. You know how they say, like, they talk about like what they call it, aggression, like I forgot what's the word, like, a racial aggression, subtle racism. It's so subtle, you can't, that means you're woke, you're not sleeping. You can,
Call it,
it's reading in between the line of a certain sheet of a certain things, right? You can see the
passive
meaning.
aggressive.
Yeah, you can see the meaning through it, right? Man, I'm not. I'm woke. Man, that brother's woke. That brother's woke.
Wait.
They hijack
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
What are you? You a Pan-African? That's what you claim?
I don't go by these terms and stuff like that, but listen, my brother, you saying you want to see your people prosper?
Yeah,
That's
I just get to that
Pan-Africanism
point.
right
Yeah.
there.
Well, that's a
Pan-Africanism right
term.
there.
Like you said, that's a term. That's a term.
Guess what?
Listen.
Guess what? FBA in essence is Pan-Africanism. It's just the word Africa that just really bothered them. But you don't get as Pan-Africanism than FBA. And I know some Pan-Africanists will disagree. And the brother American Dream, if he wasn't busy, he'd probably disagree with me. But FBA in essence is Pan-Africanism. When you're fighting for black liberation, for black betterment, because you say you want to see the black people better.
Yeah, definitely, because we at the bottom.
That in a sense is negritude. Negritude is Pan-Africanism.
Okay.
It's pan-blackness. But they wouldn't call it Pan-Africanism, they call it pro-blackness. But pro-blackness is in essence Pan-Africanism.
Listen, I gotta honor the black woman. She's been the rock in black people, and she's being disrespected. She brings forth black children, and she's been disrespected by even her sons. I don't know if you subscribe to what I'm saying, but I see it, yo. The black woman is not perfect. She has an attitude, but she's a warrior, and she's been by our side from the end to now, to the beginning to the end, because she brings forth black children, and she's being disrespected all over the world because we are not protecting them. We are lusting for white women. I don't know what we have an affinity for white women. We're not focused. Africans Americans, Caribbean people, we're not focused. We're living under the white man's infrastructure still. And I agree with what you say. We need to reject it, but we need to reject it on the base of we need to be somebody who has an identity other than being musicians and entertainers. Let's focus. Let's get ourselves together. If that's Pan-Africanism, well, I guess I'm Pan-African then, because I need to do some research, because I want to see my people prosper. And the only way my people could prosper is if we unite, but I'm not seeing us unite.
I
FBAs
do.
want to separate themselves. FBAs want to separate themselves from Africans because of the image. We are not proud of Africa. We wish we was, because if Africans were rich, printing the iPhone, making the iPhone, like you said, we would be quick to embrace them. They come over here, we call them African booty scratchers, and they don't like that. They don't get respected when they come over here because they don't deserve respect at the end of the day. Just like the American dream was saying, they sold us out. They sold us into slavery.
I do agree with you, but I think there's a lot of issues in modern society that you know, people have modern. You've heard the term first world problem, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. So we there's a certain amount of first world problem we have to deal with. You mentioned, you know, the black woman and this, that, and the third. I do think there's some issues there regarding you know, I don't want to dive into a gender war because this is not a gender war channel, and I don't do that. But I do think that you know, there are some very uncomfortable things to process in this society. There's so much going on that people don't know about. Where speaking of women, and you said black women. This is what I wanted to address. This is what I wanted to address. I wanted to address the thing you said regarding you want black people to have a different image, the musician and that blah blah blah. But I think that's a generality, right? A lot of folks
No, it's not a generality. That's what we gravitate to. We gravitate to music and rhythm. Black people are based on rhythm. We come from Africa. Africa is the rhythm of everything. We are naturally rhythmic people. Nobody
so are you
could beat up.
saying we're not pursuing anything else but music? I don't get what you're saying. Like,
oh my goodness. Listen.
Hey, gentlemen, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I will say, Mr. G, I just wanted to add real quick that you are correct. I will adamantly disagree with you that FBA is Pan-African. I'm definitely going to disagree with that. And I think Infinity disagrees with that as well, which I think is why he came up. So let me just hear what Infinity has to say real quick.
Oh my God. I don't open this can of worms, but we do need to have this discussion.
A can of worms. I'm going to tell you something straight about this guy, Carl. You don't know about the slave trade. You know what the slave trade is based on? Do you know what it's based on the African side? It's when people get caught in captured in wars.
And I did mention that.
No. If they didn't get handed over, you would have been executed. You would have got executed by effing beheading.
Right. And
so what would you rather be dead or would you rather be alive? Would you rather be dead or would you rather be alive?
My brother, I think you're rebutting the brother Carl because I did say
it's not like some deep southern breeding farms buses and slave.
Come down with quick. No.
He is disagreeing with Carl, not with you.
I think he's disagreeing with Carl. Yeah. That's why, listen, Infinity, this is why I told Carl, there were kingdom, you know, that went around, African kingdom that was strong, and they went around, they conquered other tribes, they conquered other kingdom and things of that nature. So Carl was saying something about, you know why? Well, why would we let European conquer us? Blah blah blah. We just let them.
It's simplistic. He's got simplistic view of the world. You think he knows everything? He knows nothing. He knows nothing.
No, Infinity. I know about the slave trade.
What were they sold with? With guns. That's what they were exchanged for.
No, they wasn't sold with guns. Also, they was Listen, let me say something.
An elephant and castle musket was the main trade item of the Royal African Company.
Yeah, gunpowder.
Yes. And gold.
Mr. G, let me talk to Infinity.
England,
go ahead. Let me go on mute.
England's currency, Denmark's currency, Holland's currency. Who else? And even
Let me say this.
Brazil, even the Portuguese currencies during slavery were made of African gold. This is what they don't want you to know. All those banking systems in Europe were made with our gold. You don't know the different levels of that. So you don't
Yes,
know what
I
you're
do,
speaking about, mate.
Infinity. Yes, I do, Infinity. Let me say
No,
this.
you don't know nothing.
That
You know something.
Infinity, let him
Look at America now.
respond.
What Donald Trump is doing in those black communities is one of the best things that could happen to them. Otherwise, they'd be wiping themselves out.
You gotta let him respond.
That's what they were doing during slavery. That's why people got taken, because they were killing each other. And those people who caught you could have flipping killed their captives, but they didn't.
Infinity.
You're doing the same thing
so.
today, like you've done in slavery in your cities, but people are complaining about people shoot and policemen shooting them when that's nothing compared to what's happening in your societies. Some
Infinity. Let me say this.
Please speak.
Okay, you saying that if Africans didn't turn my ancestors in, my ancestors would have been beheaded. That's what you said?
Yes. In wars, in criminal cases, yes. That's
okay.
Brutal, yes. I'm
Let
not
me
saying
say this.
I don't like British, but you know, I tell you what, I don't like about people who are in the Americas. They don't like to confront the white man about what is inhumane system of slavery, imperial chattel slavery, which means you have no human rights. You don't confront them about it. The people are petrified. You speak, but you don't talk. You talk the talk, but you can't walk the fucking walk. Excuse my language. 8 years I've been listening to this FBA FN nonsense. What they in confront of that white man? Cannot say petrified. All this is petrification.
Let him express himself because I'm listening. It makes some sense. I'm gonna say this though.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth though.
Let him express himself,
mate. They're so disorganized and so foolish, and that's it. The people who are people.
Infinity. You gotta let other people speak. Infinity. You're just not allowing other people to speak. All right, just relax and let other people speak as well.
Good man, you're no good.
Infinity. Did you know that when the European?
Hang on a second, Carl. Let me ask Infinity a question. You said they're not confronting the white man about what happened, but isn't asking for reparations confronting the white man about what happened? That's a question for you, Infinity. Is he there?
I hope so, because that was a good question.
Yeah, maybe he'll answer when he gets back. Go ahead, Carl. You wanted to say something.
He was saying that my ancestors would have got beheaded in the tribal wars that was going on. It was a tribal war, definitely, but the black man played a part in it. The black man was told to go into terrains. Once they cleaned out the coast and nobody else was in the coast to be sold from the enemy tribe, they went into the interior. The black man sold his people for guns, tobacco, textiles, and the white man saw this, and also rum. And the white man saw that the black man had trading system when they used seashell as currency, like a rosary chain, and they used that as currency. The white man went back to Europe and made the same seashells that the Africans use as currency, and basically forged it, counterfeited it, and came back and traded for humans, my ancestors and yours and Mr. G's ancestors. This is facts. This is
Carl,
facts.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Infinity saying that the Africans were pretty much forced to sell each other?
And he was basically saying it was a war going on with African tribes. Obviously, we all know that is documented. Yeah, and he was saying like it was if we didn't turn ourselves in, we would have got beheaded from anyways by these African warlords or whatnot.
Yeah, he kind of came in saying that what we were saying was a simplistic view of it, but I think even what he's saying is even more simplistic, I think.
So true, but he's not, he's just being emotional. He just came to vent and just disappear.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he fell off.
You
can get off mute whenever you wish, Mr. G.
He's worse, even emotional more than me.
Yeah,
He's coming from
he's
Britain.
passionate. He's passionate. I can get passionate too, and at times when
He
I get super passionate,
he
that's when my
he.
thick accent come out.
Let me say something about him though. Whatever his name was, he is in England.
Infinity.
It sounds like Infinity. He is in England. It sounds like, and
Yeah, he's a British.
I'm telling you, the English black people are not doing better than African Americans. That
Well, it's
I could
not. It's
stamp that.
not. We shouldn't be doing all that comparison or whatnot. And
You
you
might
know,
be right, but he was saying some things about African about Pan Africans not asking the white man for certain things, which he is kind of right in a certain way. But American Dreams is like they are confronting these white men in certain aspects, especially when it comes to reparation. And and me and you agree, Mr. G, that you can't ask the white man for it. You have to take it, and they deserve it, so they should take it. Just like how those white people ran into the White House when Trump got kicked out. But black people can't do that. But they went and they
yeah.
took.
I get what you're saying. They need to come up with a strategy to sort of force it out of white people's hand.
But listen, because some white people have a conscience now. Other people got reparations. So how come black people can't get it? How come black
Oh yeah,
Americans who
we have what's this? Wall Street Willie? Wall Street Willie.
Yeah, big up yourself, Wall Street Willie. Big up Willie. Welcome to the panel.
Sounds like you had some things you wanted to say.
I'm listening, right? And so, in terms of the context of the conversation about reparations, we do have to realize we're asking a very specific government for a very specific action, right? So we have to contour our argument to presenting it to them. So a lot of the things that's being said, like why having blacks this, that, and the third, we haven't had the opportunity politically, right, to enforce it. I do think it could potentially come. Like if you want to connect it to politics, right? I do think the Democrats are going to have to do something crazy to really lock in that black vote. Maybe reparations might be that thing.
Oh, my brother Wall Street. I really want to have a conversation with you on this. And it's not even so also like argumentative whatnot. I would like to like pick your brain as far as like in FBA, and you know what's been happening. Were you saying something, American Drew?
Did I drop or did bro drop? Because I ain't
Yeah,
hear
he
you.
dropped. Mr. G, you dropped out. Can you repeat what
I'm
you
here.
said?
Okay. It's my Wi-Fi. Let me go off. Take off my weak Wi-Fi. My struggling Wi-Fi.
I'm listening though.
Yeah, and just repeat what you said.
Yeah, you guys hear me now? You guys still hear me?
Yep, you good.
Okay. So, yeah. So I really want to pick your brain to get to flesh some things out. Sounds like Wall Street is an FBA, and he mentioned something that's very interesting with, well, the Democrats will have such and such, blah, 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 blah. But you know how much FBAism tend to crap on Democrats and stuff like that. So I don't really see Democrat, even people that are much further left. And I hope you understand politics. You understand what I mean by further left, right? Even people that are much further left, I've seen aspir- uh, 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 um, aspirational politician, people that are thinking about running for office. I've seen them asked question, that reparation question, and these people are on the left. Like I'm not even talking about Democrats. These are like leftists, like left, right? And they are not so, they're very somewhat tiptoeing around the issue of reparation. And this is why I want to ask you, in what form do you envision reparation? And let me ask you more specifically like this. So Keisha, an FBA woman, she got 7 kids. Do you Are you like seeing like, yeah, Keisha gonna get a couple of millions, and all those 7 kids gonna get a couple of millions? Is that how you seeing it?
So I'm very realistic, right? So I preface my argument by saying we have to present an argument we can win, right? So when I look at a specific reparations attempt in California, right? You had Asians and Latinos come together and say, we never owned slaves. Why should we have to pay for reparations? While I could argue that, right? While I could argue that, I'm not going to. What I'm saying is that's a fair point. So if you ask me, what's a way that I think we could win at reparations? I think if it was fundamentally a tax cut, right? Like we don't pay taxes 2 generations, right? 100 years, whatever you want to make it, right? We can make the
I like
argument.
that.
We can make the argument of
Wall Street,
allow us.
Wall
Hold
Street,
on. Let me
did
land.
you hear me saying that? I said that earlier. I don't know if you heard me saying that earlier.
Nah, bro, but great minds think alike. Like I didn't hear you say that, bro. I've been putting that out there for a while. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason being is because in the argument, right? You're saying let black people pay themselves, right? Now we have to realize the system we're going up against, right? So the one people that they might be willing to afford some type of empathy, some type of reparations, right? Are people that work, right? So you instantly take the welfare mother out of it. You instantly take the pookie out of it, right? This is only going to be beneficial to those that work and are putting in an effort in the system, right? So now we can pay ourselves, right, through a tax cut. I think that's something that we could sell to the government. I don't think we can sell to the government we're in now, and we couldn't even sell it to Barack Obama's Democratic government to cut us a check, right? But I do think we can make the argument and say, okay, well, we're not going to take any money out of your pockets. But because of this crime, right, we should be afforded the opportunity to catch up. And we can do that by a tax break.
And my brother, you are an FBA, right?
Absolutely not. I am the founding member of the ABA, the Anti-Brokenness Association. I believe Black empowerment is
You
through.
know what I mean. If you're an FBA, but
I
I
believe.
get it. Though.
Hey
I get
man,
it.
I like that guy. He sounds smart though.
Because look, bro, the reason why I don't claim that, if you look at the FBA flag, it has 3 stars. 2 of them I don't agree with. I don't agree that we were Aboriginal. I know
Hell nah, y'all niggas ain't Aboriginal.
from my family history, I am a descendant of African slaves, right? The second star is for African explorers, right? The whole Ivan Van Sertima argument, they were here before Columbus. I don't subscribe to that either. The third star is for Black slaves, right? No, if 2 of your stars don't represent my cause, and I already have a movement, like I consider myself a Pan-African. I already have a movement. Why become something different? No, I'm not an African. I am an African descendant. I am a distinct people now in this point in time. I've been removed from the continent, but I am my own people who have proven that we are viable people on earth and we deserve, certain rights and liberties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
people in the
love.
chat, real quick, Mr. G, before you go on. People in the
Mhm.
chat, can y'all please hit that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it if y'all would just hit that like button. It takes 1 second. Go ahead, Mr. G.
Yeah, you're saying some great things. And I don't really want to malign my good FBA people, but that ABA thing you said, and it sounds like a lot of people that don't really that are very realistic, right? Because when you're talking about Keisha gonna get because there's the hashtag, right? During the election, they be like tangible, hashtag tangibles, cut the check, hashtag cut the check. It's like, like you asking them to add trillions into the national debt. I don't think they don't even want to treat like we're talking about like premium whites. FBA. I call them premium blacks.
They
They don't
don't
even
treat
want to.
their own people well.
They don't even these
I agree.
Republicans people. They don't
That
even
don't
want to
matter,
treat
yo.
premium whites
They control the
correctly.
infrastructure.
Yeah, and they do control politics and things of that nature. And there is this thing that just happened with the last election. And I'm glad you brought up, the whole political piece of things. I do think, and I've seen black people that said it, that the last election kind of proved that it's almost like they, black people, because there's some black people saying, "Oh, don't vote," my vote don't mean nothing. And then these same black people will turn around and start complaining. But if you don't have any interest in voting of how this country goes and how some policies affect us, why the heck are you complaining? Why the heck are you criticizing politicians? And you telling people not to vote? It makes no damn sense. And so I've seen black people that also have admitted that last election, kind of when you look at the numbers, kind of like, man, I mean, these people, they can almost kind of like say, man, F these people. We just gonna have policies. If they want to join, join the fight, they want to join the fight. Because most of the complaints of FBA at times, they want like this FBA political party. They need to found that party and just gonna and get it over it, because realistically speaking, politics is about is about making deals. It's about breaking. And America is too complex. Is too much people. It's too complex for that. And the way they think they're gonna get reparations is not realistic, bro. They're not gonna add trillions in the debt where America's already in debt. These white people are already pissed about these, the small hats. You know what I mean? The J's, the small hats getting all these benefits and things of that nature. Like, bro, let's be realistic. Now, tax breaks, a free college guarantee for all FBA. Keisha and all of her 7 kids got a full ride scholarship guaranteed. That's more realistic. But if Keisha thinks she's gonna get millions, and then all of Keisha's 7 FBA kids gonna get millions, come on, man.
Listen, they could print the money if they wanted to, but it's not the smartest thing to do. Like this guy said, the tax break, that'd be the best thing could happen. That was one of the strategicest move they could ever make as foundation of Black Americans. They could print that money if they want to.
Let me ask you all this question.
They printing money anyway.
Can y'all hear me? Let me ask you this question.
Yeah, we hear you.
Especially you, Willie. Can y'all tell me, why do y'all think the American government is so resistant to reparations? Like, what do you think are the reasons why they're not really interested in reparations?
If you go back a couple of comments back, I think somebody kind of said it. It's kind of like admission to guilt and things of that nature. I'm not saying just that, but I think that's a big part of it too. I think that comment may have not worded perfectly right, but I think it has something.
But
with
wait,
the
bro.
guilt.
Here's the reality.
What are you talking about? Admission
Wait.
to guilt. The reality is the reality. They've been through it. It's
They've
facts. It's
already
documented.
Yeah,
They
admitted
it's
their
right
guilt.
in their faces. Like, what you talking about?
Why I think they're actually averse to paying it is self-interest, right? Like, to really pay for what that crime was, right? Like how a court would legislate a car accident, right? And you get this amount of money. To pay for that crime, right, would almost put America back in the 30s, back in the Depression, right? So I don't even think it's one of the best people who spoke on it to me was Bernie Sanders because I respected his honesty.
I like Bernie too.
Bernie Sanders said, I do understand what has happened to blacks. It was a terrible crime. We do need to help them catch up. But why I can't support reparations is because it would bankrupt the country. I can respect that. That's a valid argument, right? For that crime, right?
And that's very realistic.
What it would cost would be crazy.
Listen, listen. That's not listen. The banking system, they could print money if they want to. I know it's a lot of things that comes with that, but if they wanted to print that money, COVID forced them to print money. If they really want to print money, they could print money.
Let me respond to that, right? Because I heard when you said that. The reality is, though, if they print a bunch of money, if you know how
Then the
monetary
money becomes
policy
worthless.
and inflation
The money is
works,
already worthless. It's fiat money.
No, you don't get it. You don't get a what you call that term? Liquidated. What's the economic term? Yeah.
Monetary policy.
No, not monetary policy. I forgot. Equilibrated something. Yeah. It's when you add money into the system.
Liquidity.
You're talking about quantitative easing.
Quantitative easing. Yeah. So like, if a loaf of bread costs like $1. If they add more money in the system, my brother Carl, you know what's gonna happen? Now, in order to buy that same loaf of bread, you need $5. It's literally what's happening right now. Part of this is COVID with the steamies that they had from 2008 and things of that nature. When you give more money out and things of that nature, it will water down the money. You need more and more money to buy.
So what did I say that was wrong? I say they already printing money already.
I could have a number of conversations with you because the fact that you took the inflation problem back to the housing crisis, you actually know what you're talking about, right? So when it comes to that inflation thing, there's a joke about the Russian lady. Russian lady had a laundry bag full of rubles. She left the bag in the laundromat and left. When she came back, all the rubles were on the table and somebody stole the bag, right? Because the bag was worth more than all the rubles in the bag,
I
right?
love that example, man.
That's how inflation and monetary policy kind of work. You know what I'm saying? So to your point, right? Even in when inflation comes up in these conversations in politics, you brought up the fact that inflation has been chasing us since we had to save ourselves from the housing crisis, right? Since we started lending money out basically at 0% interest, right? Inflation has been
All
chasing
the
us.
bailing out, you remember the bailing out was that the 2008 Exxon. It's not Exxon. What is it? Is it
2008,
Exxon? What?
2009.
Yeah. What was the company? What the C? I guess the CEO committed. Went to jail. Is that Nexon? Is yeah. What's his name? Ken Lay or somebody like the
You
CEO.
talking countrywide. Ooh, he said Ken
No,
Lay.
there's Countrywide, but there's another big company. It's not Nexon. It's some. Yeah. I'll look it up. And see.
Mr. G, I'm gonna ask you a
Exxon
question.
Mobil. Is it Exxon Mobil?
Okay.
Yeah. So if you were to give people again, I'm for reparation. And I cannot determine how FBA get it because that's one of their thing is like, how dare you? How dare you? We'll ask it whatever we want and we'll ask it however we want it. No, I'm for you to get it. But by the time you get reparation, I'm in Florida, right? And I'm in a good part of Florida. I'm in North Florida where you can kind of buy houses. It's still affordable comparing to like South Florida and things of that nature, bro. If an FBA get reparation right now and they want to go buy a house, that house that costs $385,000, that house is gonna be $550,000, $750,000.
With all these blacks that now have liquidity that are buying homes, I agree. It would drive up prices. Yeah.
So I'm not against reparation, but I do think it need to be sensible, and I do, and it hurts my heart because I like the way you came about it, because you don't sound like one of these crazies that I'm like, yeah, the Democrats just not the third. Then I'm like, okay, the Democrats are really bad, so yeah, Trump is gonna give you reparation, right? Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene is gonna give you reparation, right?
I'm gonna be even realer. I think Trump would offer reparations. He would potentially offer every Black American $2,000, and then he would go on the news and say, "But I offered them reparations. They weren't happy. The blacks, the blacks. I'm the only one that has offered the blacks reparations, right?" But he would offer us pocket change. I hear what you're
Exactly.
saying.
And you have a bunch of broke, you have a broke ninjas that are super broke.
I
So
don't think so.
amongst the
Black
FBA,
Americans wouldn't take $2,000. I
no,
wouldn't.
no,
I
no, no.
wouldn't.
Wait,
I wouldn't think so.
what is wrong with you? You crazy as hell.
I
Look,
No,
think I think it
no.
would
brother,
create a
One,
weird
no.
schism
You
in the
crazy?
brother.
black community
So
where
all
some
FBA,
some of us would want to take that 2,000.
exactly.
Crazy. That's an
Most of us with
insult.
sense, would see that as an insult,
But
right?
all FBAs are not sensible. You have people that are hurting more than others, and you have
That's a
people that
fact.
are way less successful than others. You have people that are less educated than others. They will look at it as a come up, and they don't care that their food stamp, Keisha and her kids not gonna get food stamp. When they give you reparation, they gonna once they give you reparation, let's be honest. Because I've seen some racist white people in chat groups, saying that, bro, once you get reparation, I don't think like the HUD, Section 8, food stamp. I think they're gonna cut back on a lot of that stuff, bro.
I
Uh-uh.
mean, honestly, if we got reparations, we wouldn't qualify for it, right? Like with our income, with the amount of assets that we have, we wouldn't even qualify for those programs anymore.
But real reparation, though, you're talking about like fat reparation, like hefty sum
Right,
of money type of
right,
reparation.
correct. I want to qualify where I'm coming from, right? Because one of the goofiest arguments from the FBA community was we have to delineate because we can't let these Jamaicans or these Africans get our imaginary check.
Mm-hmm.
One
Booty
one
scratching Africans.
one thing I know about America, they're gonna put some restrictions and qualifications on it. So once that happens, there's no way Kodak Black is gonna get reparations, right? He's of Haitian descent, right?
Facts,
The more
facts. But even some FBA gonna
hold
be
on, I'm gonna land right
disqualified
here.
too.
That's the point, right? What we need to be more concerned about is that if every FBA that could qualify does, a lot of them won't be able
Definitely.
to prove their lineage back to 18 whatever, right?
I'm
That
glad you
needs
know
to
that.
be that should have been the
You're
bigger
realistic.
conversation. You get what I'm saying?
You're
And
realistic, and
I
some
see a
people gonna be
lot of
surprised that they ain't foundational Black Americans like they thought they was, because like G was saying, some of them ain't even trying to take the DNA test.
You could be a
You know what I mean?
foundational Black American. That doesn't mean you could prove it, right? So if we
You
were
know,
to get reparations,
the worst part about it, some white people will might, I'm saying might, could fall under the categorization, under the classification of FBA. Now, let me flesh this out for you real quick. I'm not even gonna be long,
Patrick
my brother.
Mahomes kids.
Okay, thank you. You starting. You starting. Well, that is a very good one. That is a very good. Do you guys remember a girl by the name of Wanda Rousey?
that
Absolutely.
white girl, that UFC fighter.
Wanda ain't black. Where you
UFC
going with
fighter.
this?
Her great
Hold on.
grandfather was
Where's he
black.
going with this?
Not even great grandfather. Her grandfather father. She's from black lineage.
Yeah.
Patrick
I mean,
Patrick
You know,
Mahomes' kids. They look full white.
white as hell.
let me
And that
just say this real
grandfather
quick.
is a ninja.
You know, I asked, and I don't know if it's because I was distracted by my son why I didn't hear the answer to the question. But can y'all, if y'all did answer, can y'all just repeat real quick why you said the American government isn't really interested in paying reparations?
My reason was self-preservation. Like for that crime, if you were going to compensate those that were aggrieved, right? The plaintiff, if you were going to compensate them fairly, yeah, that might put us back in the Stone Age, like 1930, like, what do you call it?
And
The
that's
Great
where I
Depression.
disagree.
Do you
The
think
Great
that's a,
Depression,
do
the
you
Great
think that's a
Depression era.
valid? Do you think that's a valid concern on their part, Willie?
On the behalf of white America, absolutely. That's why I respected it when Bernie Sanders was the only one that was kind of honest about it. He was like, basically, yeah, black people do deserve reparations, but the reason why I'll never be behind that, it would bankrupt the nation. I can
But let me
respect
And
say
I
that.
this though. I
disagree.
do agree
Hang
with
on,
what Bernie Sanders say, but I don't think in this that's more in the subconscious and somewhat in the conscious of very highly educated people. But I think in the forefront of general America, general white America, they're not thinking about that stuff. That's not what they're thinking about.
I agree.
They're just thinking about, oh, black people able to come up on us, able to come up those people in the trailer park in West Virginia,
Them.
Alabama, Mississippi, they're not thinking about the
I agree
economy.
with you
That's a
100%.
high level educated
100%.
people
And listen,
education.
listen.
I don't
There's a
know. I
lot
don't
of
know.
Americans that live in the rural areas, like that, like those places you're talking about. They're in those rural areas. I'm telling you, I agree. But listen, they ain't on the internet like ignorant black people though. Like the ignorant ghetto black Americans, they ain't on the internet. And these ghetto black Americans are influencing the black Americans that are in the middle class. You see
So
the thing they got like black
Well,
fatigue
it's
on
an
the internet?
internet thing. It's an internet thing.
so
I
wait,
think the power that you
No.
guys may give it. It's a lot of word. It's a lot of word.
I want to
Even with the
challenge you
gender.
on that though, right? Because there is the black conservative grift, right? There are black Americans who make S ton, right, of money, right, grifting white people, saying the things they can't say, being your
Facts.
Jason Whitlocks, being your
So
chaotic
the weakness
truths,
you
right? So I do think, yeah, there is, there are those people online, like that aren't the smartest white people, but they're invested in this political argument.
Exactly. They have the infrastructure. They have the political baggage.
Yeah.
And by the way, I spy 22 in the chat. There's a link, buddy. If you think everything you're hearing is wrong, there's a link. You can always hit the link and join the conversation.
Pop
But
out.
Willie, let me ask all of y'all, given that, you know, the country's concern is that they would go bankrupt, why doesn't
I
that
disagree.
I get that, but why doesn't FBA, because Willie, even though you know and understand that, you still want reparations. Like, why do you suppose that FBA are okay with getting reparations, even at the risk of destroying the country?
Please let me say something for the black American. Let me say something. The reason why I believe black America should get it. I know you're talking to Willie, but I'm gonna say this. Black Americans fought the war, fought the right war. They got sabotaged by some of the presidents in the past. Like Abraham Lincoln died, and the other president his vice president came and just kind of like eradicated all the things that the black people were supposed to get after the war. So those type of things actually derailed black prosperity. And I'm all about black prosperity at the end of the day. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, Carl, but I think the reason why, if you were to ask Andrew Johnson, I think is the guy who
Go
is
to,
the vice
yeah.
president that
I
took over
hate
the
that
war.
nigga. I swear to God.
Right, but even if you were to ask him why he was against it, he would say what Willie just said. It would bankrupt the country. So my question is still, and my question isn't whether you think FBA should get reparations.
Right.
My
Okay.
question is, why is it that FBA doesn't really seem to be concerned that reparations could ruin the country? They say they built America. Everything about America was designed and built by them. This is their country. but they don't seem concerned that reparations would bankrupt the country and destroy it. And I'm trying to figure out why don't they have that concern?
So I got
My,
I don't
my
think
brother,
they're,
I think you already know this.
I
I
got
think people are not thinking. It's just a surface level. It's more emotional. It's more of an emotional. FBAism is more is heavily emotional based. The only
I
person that
agree.
seems to make sense, and I don't think they even fleshed it out. They even got to that point. Now I was following Yvette Carnell. Now, if you really understand this whole thing, you understand Eva Cornell, Tone Talk,
ADOS.
and I don't think the brother Carl even know that because he just found out about FBA. So
Yeah,
people
that's
probably think
true.
like FBA is the original. They don't even know about ADOS. They don't know about Cindy Darity,
Yo,
who's an actual intellectual. Professor Cindy Darity, I think that's his name, Darity or whatnot. Yvette Cornell, but I don't even think even Cornell they had gotten to that point because part of Yvette Cornell thingy, it doesn't on the surface level, it didn't look like Griff, but it wasn't until people started exposing her that she worked. She used to be on the board of a white supremacist anti-immigration organization. Then people started actually making connection to the grift. But um, FBA people are not thinking that deep. They're just more on the surface level. Oh, look at that Nigerian doing better. Oh, the immigrants that come over there,
Well,
they
here's what I
come
would
over
say,
here.
my brother. Here's what
Go
I
ahead.
would say, right? One of the worst things for me about the FBA movement is that it completely disseminated and destroyed that ADOS movement that was actually trying to get involved on a political level, right? ADOS
Super
was
facts.
actually trying to get involved. They were pushing HR 40. They were involved in the real conversation, right? So for me, outside of how it tried to alienate a lot of my brothers who come to this country from different lands and we have a bond when they get here, and these are my brothers, right? Outside of
for
that,
real. That's
out,
crazy.
outside of that, it destroyed an actual political movement. Like Yvette Cornell is 1 week away from OnlyFans, right?
What?
Like that movement, hear what I'm saying, right? Like they get no traction anymore. They're not talked about. They're getting no donations. Like the movement kind of got killed
Can I
by
ask you a
FBA.
question though? Criticizing. Now I understand all this, right? As a person, I don't like to, because I saw a brother in the chat. He said, "Y'all don't know our history, blah 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 blah." And here's my other thing with FBA people. Here's my other thing with FBA. American Dream. I hope you're listening to this. FBA people seem to think, and again though, I like to ask these people, where did you grow up? Did you have, when you were in high school, did you have kids from Africa, Caribbean, who were even honor roll student while your ass was getting C's and D's
All
in
of New York
history class?
City, I had Nigerians, Jamaicans, all type of West Indians all around me, right?
So, so,
I,
so
I
I'll
and
ask you this question
to your
too.
argument,
Uh-huh.
most of the FBA cats that you will hear being extremely vocal, you're always gonna hear a Southern dialect, right? Notice you'll never hear a New Yorker going into this delineation, and they're not my
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
not our
yeah.
reality. You
No,
get what
I
I'm
get it.
saying?
I get it. I get it. As a Caribbean, I didn't grow up in New York. I grew up in South Florida. Now I get it because New York is like the super melting
You
pot
dig what I'm
of the
saying,
United
bro?
States. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get
You
it. I
get
get
it.
it. But let me ask you this question though. Oh, God damn, I forgot the question I wanted to ask you is like, why do FBA? Because the brother said, "Oh, yeah, I don't know our history." There is this tendency, this generality that as if FBA don't know that there are people who were born here, Nigerian of a Caribbean ancestry, and there are people that came here at the age that I came here that still have an accent, who got PhD in African American studies. It seems like they think because you got FBA blood and you are just a stupid and ninja on south side of Chicago hanging out in the front store because you got FBA blood, you know more history than the guy who's teaching African American history at a at a African American college. Why do they assume that, my brother?
I'm gonna say this
Well,
too, G.
Wall
I
Street
was
probably
talk
didn't hear my question.
I was
Go ahead,
talking
bro.
to an FBA guy, and I was asking him about the tether word, and it was like people who come and try to infiltrate Black American culture and act like Black American, talk like Black American, and undermining Black American people. I'm like, how are Black people, how are Black Americans being undermined? I don't understand it. Like, this
So
probably seem
I
redundant.
I
Yeah,
can
I'm
be
Your
here.
honest
your
about
answer is
that
in the
part of the
chat.
argument, right? There is some validity to a disconnect between Black Americans and people from all over the diaspora and the continent that come here. There is a disconnect between us, right? One thing I always say is the only way to beat FBA would be for Africans and people from the diaspora, right, to invest a bit more in the community. If I come in your store, right, and I see my best friend's son working at your counter, yeah, I'm a lot less likely to have so much contention with you. But when I view you as you only hire other Africans, we're not really connected, right? That can create contempt between the two groups.
No, I do agree, and I would like to dive deeper into that or whatnot. And I guess that's probably your answer to the question I was asking regarding why do FBA assume that like even people that have a PhD in African American study from a HBCU college or whatever university, why do they assume their blood, even though they may be illiterate with high school dropout, they automatically know more history than the person who got a PhD in African American studies? Why?
It's because the group is more of a social club, right, than anything else, right? So they've created a doctrine that people want to believe in, no matter how accurate it is or not. Like, I'll put it to you
Exactly.
this way. I'll put it to you this way. I don't think Donald Trump benefits the average white American, right? But because the scope is on immigrants and Black communities and everything else, right? They ignore the fact that he's not beneficial for them. They just focus
Facts.
on what he's doing to others,
It's the
right?
perception and the narrative.
I think that's very much the cycle that FBA group is caught up in, right? They just
And
want
there's
to
some truth.
have an enemy.
There's some truth in the chat. The brother admitted, and this is the thing when you talk, and you remember what you said about New York City and FBA or people from New York City. The brother said it in the chat. He didn't go to school with foreign blacks. You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of ignorant people that, and I'm not saying all, some of them they do, they're very familiar with foreign blacks, with immigrant blacks, some of them, but
My
they're more
point would
tapped
be,
into the
bro,
hatred. Go ahead.
before you go too far, my point is if you've never grown up around Africans, if you've never grown up around people from the West Indies, how are they your problem? Right? Like, what did they take from you? It's almost like the invisible boogeyman in the room is this African bad guy, this African bad man that's taking nothing from you. You know what I mean?
I love what you just said there, because I've you know the thing where they're like, yeah, you hate us, you such, and I'm like, then you start asking, if you ask them, tell me about a time where such and such African did something to you. Most of them cannot even tell you. Most of them cannot, they don't know. It's just generality. And it's messed up, because I, as a Haitian, trust me, man, I would give my left arm to see FBA get reparation. But unfortunately, they let a grifter, a person who's not intellectual,
I
a
agree.
former pimp, a degenerate,
I
they
agree.
let that person, drive him astray.
You want to know what's even crazier? They let him drive them astray while he did videos on Dessalines and Toussaint. You get what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
did
Living Color, the
he did
documentary
this
Living Color. Yep.
whole hidden colors thing highlighting them, but now we need to separate from them. I agree with you, but I'm just saying that's kind of where America is right now. The smartest people are no longer in control. It's the people with the most views.
I don't see your name,
Right.
but I want to ask you a question. You said I can't believe black people are not trying to claim their African ancestry. I'm not proud of Africa right now. I think Africa is not doing well, but I can't deny my African ancestry. I see black Americans denying their African ancestry, saying they're Indians. I have Indian in me, and I don't claim I'm Indian. And I know a lot of African American black Americans have Indian in them, so I know that. But I'm saying like you can't deny your ancestry and talking about you Indian now.
Yeah, yeah. I used to feel like I used to say put the FBAers in the same box that I put the flat earthers in and put them in a corner and
I,
ignore
I,
them.
I
I
I
don't
love that
believe in none of
analogy.
I used to say that, but the reality has become I know I'm not even concerned with all of us at our big ages, right? These are arguments that are now trickling down to the kids. They're buying into some of this fake
Right.
history. So at
Right.
that point, I gotta address it. You know what I mean?
Right. The potential, because social media, like you said, it's like group. It has that group effect, that
Yep.
group think effect. So you're right though. If young people start picking up these ideas and they start talking about these things, it can get quiet. But you know what? Young people are like a lot of young people are like much smarter than the um a lot of bitter people. I hate to say this, but some FBA are very successful, but a good percentage of people that are FBA, that espouse the FBAism, they're not your top performer in this capitalistic system. They're not.
I would even argue, I would even argue that the ones that are successful, right, don't subscribe to FBA. They know
I
who
think
they
the
are.
brother, the brother need to go on mute.
Who me?
The women in the background is like
Sorry,
very loud.
Somebody getting in trouble.
Yeah, they're fighting. They're
sorry.
fighting over that jerk
They
chicken right
talking
there.
about politics. They talking about politics. It's
They talk
crazy.
about politics. Oh, I thought they were fighting over the jerk chicken.
Hey, Willie, I'm still trying to hear your answer to why you think
So,
FBA and even yourself,
mhm,
even you, given that you're aware of the concern of America being bankrupted through reparations,
yeah.
like why do you still support it? Is it that you just don't think that their concern is valid? Like why do you still support reparations given that you because I don't know if Mr. G is an American. I don't think Mr. G is American. I
You
know
can hear the
Carl is
accent.
not.
I'm
Yeah, I know
Haitian.
Carl is not American,
Now
but
I'm
you
with you.
are an American, Willie. So why do you support reparations, even though there's a concern out there that it could destroy the country?
I'm with you. So number one, first and foremost, you're not concerned with conserving something you don't own, something you don't control, right? So if America does go bankrupt, a lot of blacks in America feel like so be it. Now, I'm smart enough to know that could affect my home. So that's not my goal, right? So on the second side of that, why I still push for reparations, it was given to the Jews to the point where they created an entire country. It didn't bankrupt anyone. Even here in America, reparations were given to the Asians. It didn't bankrupt anyone.
OMG.
So I'm saying under the right
Those were direct survivors, though.
Hang on, let him
and
finish though.
well and their kids as well. There were a lot of cases where, the direct survivor was dead, the kids got the money. But what I'm saying is if it's done under the right structure, no, it's not going to bankrupt the country. It might actually spark a bunch of economic growth because you know how we spend money, right? So even on an economic level, I see the benefit of putting the money right in the pockets of some of America's biggest spenders. Now, it may not benefit all of us, being the biggest spenders, wasting the money, but I can't subscribe to the argument that it would destroy the US economy. No, like just like Dave Chappelle said, the price of Cadillac stock is gonna go through the roof. You know what I mean? We're gonna spend that money. That's gonna be an economic benefit to the country. Because I
Willie,
understand monetary policy and economics, I can't subscribe to that argument that
I
righting
agree.
this wrong would bankrupt the country.
It's not gonna bankrupt the country. And G disagree with me. I'm telling you, these guys print money like it's nothing. These bankers, these monetary funds, they print money like it's nothing.
But
Hey,
see, then you
Wall
Yes.
need.
Street, can you explain to him? Can you explain
I
to him
got
about
you.
quantitative easing again?
I was gonna jump in there, right? That is a legitimate argument that if you just print the money to pay us, right, it is gonna create inflation. It's gonna devalue the currency. I don't think giving us a tax cut, right, is gonna cause us to have to print all this money and devalue the currency. So for
I'ma
me,
say this. The money is already devalued. It's backed by war and nuclear power. That's what it's backed by.
but come on, bro,
That's why they putting Bitcoin in. That's
stay
why
with me
Bitcoin
though.
is coming
Listen to what
up.
I'm saying. Stay with me in 2019. Did I get married in 19? Yeah. Like had my anniversary, my honeymoon in Costa Rica. The US dollar goes because of exchange rates, I was tipping like a white man the entire week, right? Like the US dollar definitely still has value, right? I'm not even gonna go to the petrodollar argument.
Because of war, because of weapons.
But that's just a reality. Those things are still going on, so I'm
That's
not
why it
gonna.
has value.
I feel like you're slightly like, because I respect you, I could say this, bro. You're slightly spookifying the argument, right? With the wars, and now we're going into the deep state and all that stuff. What I'm simply saying is the US dollar currently in my life, when I travel to other countries, it has value, right? My dollar goes a long way in Costa Rica, bro. Like I was tipping like a white man all weekend. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't
I
want to.
understand that.
Yeah, I don't want to
But I'm
spookify the
saying, this is what
argument.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The reason why your money has value is because of war, and you're saying that it's that he's saying I'm going too deep in it. Well, that is the facts though.
I'm saying even if that is the facts, that's just the reality, right? Now the rest of the conversation still has to be had. That's just the reality. I'm not saying you're wrong, right? Even though I know kind of where it's coming from. You're more of a truth seeker and you question a lot of things. And I respect that.
No,
But I'm
no, 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 no. I disagree with your assessment of me. I'm saying if you guys print money, it's backed by war. You guys are not going bankrupt. I do admit I don't know the quantitative
easing.
economics you guys are talking about. I do admit that. But I know that your guys' monetary fund is backed by guns and war and political dominance around the world.
But
That's why your money is still up there.
it's also backed by an established economic system, right? So what the brother brought up when he brought up the housing crisis, when we just started printing money left and right? Inflation has been chasing us ever since. So when we have these inflation conversations, it's not about Biden. It's not about Trump. It's about what they're going to do to deal with the inflation problem on the horizon. But that problem has already been in the rearview mirror. So I'm saying just printing a bunch of money isn't the answer. It could cause more harm than good. And that's why I think, in terms of if someone were to say, hey, you, black guy over there, what's your idea for reparations? I would go to a tax break, right? Because number one, Americans love workers, right? So white people would fight me less, thinking, all right, King Von isn't getting a check. The welfare mother with the 7 kids that was brought up, she's not getting, right? So they'd be a bit more willing to hear that argument. But then on an economic level, we're not requiring the government to print more money, change monetary policy. Like, nah, just let us pay ourselves. I think that's an argument we could possibly win. I don't think we're going to win the cut me a check argument. You get what I'm saying? And that's not to say we don't deserve a check. That's not to say that. But I'm just saying I'm interested in presenting an argument we can win.
Y'all gotta do a think tank, man. Y'all gotta do so. Y'all got some intelligent black people out there. Y'all gotta do some think tanks, man. Yay.
But
Y'all
look,
gotta come
bro,
up with something because y'all deserve it. And
but
I
look,
want to
bro.
see y'all get it. Like how G want to see y'all get it. And I believe him, he's genuine. Like people who respect black
Peep this,
Americans.
bro. Peep
Y'all
this.
have to take it somewhere.
I completely cooned out, right? On a previous panel with American Dream, because I feel like I can be honest with y'all, right? There's a part of me that wants to give up the reparations argument. I feel like there's a portion of that argument that keeps us stagnant, where once we get this, then we'll do X, Y, Z. No, like we have the means, we have the income, we have the position in the current structure to do things for ourselves now. So a part of me says, forget the reparation argument. Because I feel like it's stopping us from saying, all right, we're never going to get it. Let's save ourselves. You get what I'm saying?
For real.
But I mean, I'm always going to be
I don't
for
know
it.
if this is gonna be off topic. I don't know if this is gonna be off topic, but I'm gonna say it. Like black Americans or people in America in general, artificial intelligence is a couple years behind, but it's coming and it's gonna take people jobs. The digital jobs, mostly the digital jobs, not the physical like plumbers and these things, but people who work in these offices is gonna lose jobs, and black people are suffering large unemployment.
So
It's
now you're
not
talking
looking good for
America
black
as a
people in the
whole.
future.
Look, when I'm making that
It's not
argument,
looking.
look, bro, when I'm making that argument, the first thing I say is, when's the last time you pressed 1-800-1900 anything and got a human being on the phone? No, that call center's gone. Like, there's 3
Yes,
people now that if you can't press 1, press 4, you wait through it, then you get to those 3 or 4 people. But that's not the same job it was in the 90s. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, technology's
you
coming
know the truth
fast.
about your country. Your country is strictly about production.
Absolutely.
Your country is strictly about production. And I told G, like, the reason why a Nigerian could come and do better than a foundation of black American is because he has more merits than that foundation of black American to move up the ladder.
I do
You
I,
know what
I
I
do
mean by
agree. I'm, I'm
Here's
merit?
the
I'm sorry.
argument, though.
I was on
Here's
my
the
Big Mac.
argument.
I was on my
Don't
Big Mac
send
project. Gave me some food. I do agree what you're saying, but there's more. There's kind of more to it too. You know how they talk about the
Obviously, there's
Mexicans.
nuance.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm just saying there's more to it. It's not just the merits kind of thingy, but they're coming from a collectivist culture. So they can work together and just like be like, a couple of them in a house and things like that. People don't have to get in there feeling, oh, I'm gonna get my own apartment. We work together, we help each other save money. And that's what a lot of these ethnic people they do. Immigrants do, and then now you hear FBA talking about, oh yeah, they get a loan for free. Oh, they get something such, they give them something such. Nah, a lot of these people, especially Chinese, you ever go to them little hotels,
Yeah.
if you're in the street, you're trying to bust something
Yep.
down, whatnot, late night, you trying them little hotels, when you go to them little hotels, you them Indians, they got a whole family
Look,
living there. They got a whole family living there, working for the hotel
I'm glad you
owner
mentioned the
and stuff
Asians.
like that. So they're
Let me say
able to
something about the
work.
Asians.
American culture is individual
I want
culture. So by the time you 18, 19, they're kicking you out the house. But them Hispanics, they hunker down together, they work it together, and they help each other save. And then you can go in and you can gain your independence. You help me gain my independence. But American culture is not like that. So
Now,
it's
now
more
here's
to it.
something.
There's more to it than the merit thing.
Here's something you gotta understand though, right? When those people come over to America, 9 times out of 10, it's some of the best and brightest, right? Like, if you sent me to the Congo right now, right? I'm one of the most educated, right? You're not sending the Pookies. You're not sending the lower portion of the society, right? So now you send over a lot of the best and brightest to America. And when that conversation is had in the context of who we are as Black Americans, yeah, I mean, the success of these small groups doesn't disprove, right, that one, we're do certain things, two, a lot of our stagnation is due to outside forces, right? Like
Right, right.
if you sent the average college educated Black American to any country on the continent, he's one of the most respected. He's gonna get the job fastest, right? There's very much a similar dynamic here, right? But we end up getting judged by some of the best and brightest that come over here. A lot of these people, right? You know, the one thing all tyrants say, they send their kids for Western education, right? So now you have these people who have robbed their own communities, right? Who actually, if we're being honest about it, are sellouts in their own communities. They're
Yep.
getting sent over here, and a lot of them are the best and brightest. They're being compared to the whole group of Black people. When
But
you
yeah,
when you
I
step
have.
outside of that, you understand, nah, Black Americans are doing quite well right here.
They are, but I do think there is some sort of generality in what you're saying, because it's word for word, and I already know you're not like FBA crazy and shit like well
Right.
and stuff like that because I'm not supposed to be cursing. I know you're not FBA crazy and stuff like that, but what you just said is part of FBA talking point as far as the best, this, that, and the third. I do think there are so many other factors in what you're saying where it doesn't have to be with like the best or whatever, right? So if you take a
It's
FBA
not the
kid,
best.
yeah, I don't think it's all
A lot of
the best
refugees
of that.
come over here.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of refugees, like and I know there are some Nigerians and Kenyans. Kenyans like is one of the outside of Nigerians as like one of the other smartest, probably might be even smarter than even Nigerians or whatever. Kenyans are like super smart. You remember Barack Obama? His dad was Kenyan, went to Harvard, right? Way back, right? A
Right.
whole ninja from Africa, thick accent, Kenya, going to Harvard. So the bloodline, right? That bloodline, transfer over because Barack Obama didn't have anybody in his white family that went to Harvard, but this booty scratching African was coming from Kenya was going to Harvard, right?
So
Um,
wait, stay there though. What I'm saying is that's not the average African. That's not the
you
lowest class
obviously,
African, right?
obviously, but when
Right.
you saying
So to compare
they're
them
best.
to all blacks, that's unfair. If you're comparing them to the best of the Black community, yeah, they're not killing it as much as they claim. We're
But
doing
my
all right.
brother,
They not. They not killing it. They not
hold
killing
on,
it.
hold on.
Indians
I'm
are
just
killing
trying.
it.
I'm trying
Asians
to
are
show
killing
you.
it.
Yeah, I'm trying to show you the generality in what you're saying because that's not the regular average Kenyan or average African or whatever. That's not true.
That's my
But
point.
the conversation, but your statement, that statement is sort of insinuate
I'm
as if
saying the greatest Kenyan is being compared to the common Black in America. And this is
well,
only a dynamic that we're going to have to deal with here
and
because
and
other
and
people
I'm
come
going
here.
to this is why I said that's a bit, and I know you're not being You're not pushing FBAism, but that is almost an FBAism. Here's the caveat I want you to see, right? You take a kid born to Shaniqua in Memphis.
Right.
All of the previous people in that family are a bunch of middle school dropouts. I'm not even gonna say high school dropouts. And I'm sorry I'm being stereotypical,
Nah, I'm with
but
you.
this is
I'm with you.
this, yeah. I'm not trying to like crap on FBA. It's just I'm trying to draw an example, right?
I get your point. You take a kid from a bad upbringing, put him in a better place, he's likely to be much
Typical.
more successful. What I'm
No, take
saying
that.
is
No, no,
this.
no. Listen. Take that kid from Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
born to Shaniqua.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in a home that Nigerian kid who's gonna end up at MIT or Harvard. Put him in the exact same home.
Right.
Would they and trust me, I'm not a black Republican now. Please don't do that to me because y'all feeling force
Yo,
me
we
by
hear you,
default.
bro. We
No,
building.
no, yeah. I know you can understand. You can understand. But by default, I'm what am I saying? Because what you said sound like FBAism, and I know that's not what you're trying to do or say or whatever. But I think that is a generality. I don't think they're comparing the best or whatever. But people are, one of the things that you have to understand is the overall, and I hate this thing about the behavior and culture and things of that nature because I hate these coons, these black Republicans and coon immigrants like the Candace Owens or whatever. But if you take that kid, let's be honest, if you take that kid born to Shaniqua in Memphis, put him in a Chinese home, put him in a Nigerian home with the exact same discipline, with the exact same stuff. You learning how to read early on. Put him in the exact same home as that Indian kid that's gonna be spelling bee champion. That kid may not end up at Harvard, but he may end up at Notre Dame. He may end up at NYU Law School.
I'm with you.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Here's my point, though, right? We're not getting the Shaniquas coming over to America, right? So when you're dealing with that parent from another country, they are typically university educated, right? Some of the best. We're not getting the Shaniquas of Africa. We're not getting the Shaniquas of the West Indies. They are stuck where they are, right? The ones that come over here, typically, that get to a point where they're successful, right, are some of the better off Africans, right? Like I said,
But not all Nigerian and not all African
I didn't
parents
say
were like
all.
college graduate in their countries though.
I didn't say all, but I'm saying when they come here and they reach a certain level, you see a certain commonality in their background. They're not the Nigerian refugee, right? They're the kid that was already signed up to go to NYU before they ever hit American soil, right? The
Mm.
successful ones, right? Because yes, all types of other immigrants do come in, right? But when we make this comparison to say that Africans or people of the diaspora are doing so much better than Black Americans, you're comparing them to some of the best you have to offer.
And I never made that claim anyway. But I think what I'm saying, I'm combating that claim. There's that claim that sort of it's kind of like that claim where like, oh yeah, they hate us, that. It's kind of the same thing. It's like, oh, it's the best, blaza blaza. Bro, I don't see it. I see a lot of dusty, poor African driving Ubers, and that FBA will tell you that themselves.
So
Man,
they're
a
not
lot
the
of y'all
ones
they're
you're
just
talking about, though. When you talk about the ones that are doing well, that are doing better than us, you're not talking about the dusties. You get what I'm
okay.
saying? I'm
So
saying, I'm
mhm.
saying, just like in the Black community, the kids that do well, they typically come from a certain kind of background, right? It's no different with the Africans
I do
or
agree. I do
or
agree.
any immigrants that
Statistically
come here.
speaking.
You know what I'm saying?
How, however, there's a thing that, and I think, and this is where, and so don't call me that. I'm not that, but I do fellowship with quote unquote passport bro and me being an immigrant background.
Oh
My wife
Lord.
and child is in the
Oh
DR right
Lord.
now. I'm not a passport bro. I mean, I'm on my third passport. When I was in the Air Force, my 19 years old, I was stationed in England On a 4-day weekend, me and my homeboy, we were just flying to go to Germany, hang out in Germany. We've been doing this. And we're talking about 2005, right? So I'm not that, but I just want to kind of preface that. And then when I'm amongst these guys, a lot of them typically are like straight up FBA. They may have been out the country right now, and then some of them may have been like military brats, people that are born to like military parents overseas. But generally speaking, the perspective that I have as an immigrant, I can see the blind side that a person who's been here all their life don't have that perspective. Even though you grew up in New York, you know immigrants. Here's the thing. As a kid who left Haiti at 13 years old, this is what we have in our culture. Now Haiti is messed up. This is what we have in the culture. There's this thing that's ingrained in us. You'll find ladies that are like single mothers. One of the worst profession to survive in Haiti, when you sell charcoal, because charcoal is dark, you're always dirty, always sell fish, you always stink. These people are looked up down in society. But let me tell you something, what our mentality is. The same like the Nigerian mentality. If you were born in America, or you have a Nigerian parent, you have a Haitian parent, you are literally a failure. If you're not a lawyer, doctor, engineers, you are a failure in their eyes. Okay? So let me tell you something. That woman who's selling charcoal on the street, who's illiterate, don't know how to read and write. And I'll be frank with you guys. Maybe that's doxing myself. I got members of my family that don't know how to read and write. My auntie, right? Who raised me. My cousin, her son in Haiti right now is a medical doctor. Let me tell you something. That lady who is very poor, you know what her hope is? You know what her strength is? She will swear to God on her life all the humiliation she got from people because she's at the bottom rung of society. My fucking kid would. I'm sorry, I curse. I'm sorry. Please forgive me on that one because I'm speaking very passionate right now. This is our foreign people. Speaking of Haitian and many other group of people, you know that woman that's super poor? She swear on her life her son is going to be a doctor. And she worked really hard and sent her son to the best private school. Education is a thing. We eat and breathe it. If you take that kid from Memphis, whose entire family are middle school dropout, you put them in the same regiment as that Indian kid, as that Chinese kid. He may not end up at Harvard, but he may end up at NYU law.
Yeah.
So again, I don't want to talk about this much, but culture and lifestyle has a lot to do with a lot of things. And that's where the conversation gets very uncomfortable. And I myself, I even hate the conversation because sometimes there's a lot of people that's having this conversation that are coons, but we cannot ignore that piece because they are brothers that were born in the hood. They are brothers that were born in the hood.
You can speak freely because I know your heart. I clearly know you're not one of them. The same coons I bang on, right? Like you're not one of them. So I'm with you.
Yeah, but I don't want people to miscategorize. You could easily, you'll get tetherized. Once you get tetherized, you get coonized and stuff like that. But there are a bunch of brothers. Yeah, tetherized. Yeah, as soon as they don't like something that you say, I'm sure you've been tetherized like multiple times. Like as soon as you say something that they don't like, you're like, oh, you're an immigrant. No, you're an immigrant. But check this out. There's many people, FBAs. They were born in the trenches, raised in the trenches. Some of them are professors at Harvard, MIT. There were some parents, they were like, man, we are here in Memphis. I dare you to be like these other ninjas. I will kill you. You need to read 3 books this summer. That regiment. Once you have that regiment, because I had a father, it's ironic. I went to the military too. My father is a military man. I remember being a little boy. my father raising me, waking me up early, doing push-ups with me and stuff. I'm a little boy and things of that nature. But when we put a kid in a regiment,
Did he drop? Yo, maybe I dropped.
Yeah, Willie. It looks like oh shit. Even and Willie got dropped. Either Willie must have left. All right, y'all. So everybody dropped out. It's about that time anyway. I was getting ready to shut this thing down. Yeah, Mr. G.
yeah,
Mr.
thanks
G,
for
you here?
having me, man. It was nice chatting with y'all, man. One of these days, whenever I'm off work or whatever, I'll jump in earlier to have some conversation with you. And you having a good? Do you know a brother by the name of his channel is it used to be Haven Bullet, like Javen Bullets.
No, I'm not familiar.
Oh, you should look him up. I mean, he's been making videos about FBA ADOS forever. I think he's Caribbean brother too. He make good content. I think his channel is Haven Bermudas now, but it's good to see you doing the kind of work that you're doing. You have conversation that are good conversation. I wish that more people will come, but I don't think people want to have honest conversation. Most FBA, because I think some people deep down they know it's this rah online fluff bullshit. That's not really, excuse my language, but that's not really about anything. People don't want to have real conversation. And I've heard some conversation you've had here. There was a brother that was here. He was talking about how, like, oh, black people are not Africans, and that, I mean, which I know that they claim that. I refuse to debate and have a conversation with anybody in the year 2025 about how black people are not from Africa, or we have no lineage to Africa. I refuse to do that in 2025. This is so stupid. And doing that, I don't think benefits. I just don't get how that line up with reparation, running away from Africa, because that's a direct link with it's the whole package. How you gonna claim to be your just Cherokee and all of that stuff, and then like you asking for reparation? But it's neither here or there. But I wish them the best luck. I do want them to get reparation, and as the brother said, it may not happen in the form of money, as that may not be the best way to ask for it. I hope that one day it does happen. Appreciate you having
Yeah.
me on the panel, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming up as well. Really do appreciate it. And again, whenever I'm live, you're going to be more than welcome to come up. Wall Street, you want to say
And
something to close out?
yeah, really quick before the brother leaves, what needs to happen most is the conversations that we just had. So salute to you, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, I definitely enjoyed the dialogue. I definitely look forward to speaking to you again. And American Dream, you always create the platform and the space where we can get to the real issues and be intelligent about it and not make it about a bunch of hatred and goofy stuff. So salute to you both, to my brother. You know what I mean? It was good talking to you. Never feel like you can't be honest with me, because I know your heart. And I know you have my best interest in mind. I have yours as well. And I speak to our
For sure,
people.
man.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely appreciate the dialogue, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
man.
nice talking to you, bro. Like, definitely. I've heard your voice before somewhere, like around the passport passport bro space, but I don't think you. I think you just sound like somebody, but probably it's not you. Um, yeah, man. I wish to talk to you again. These are good conversation. I wish like the Tariq Nasheed will have these conversations with their people, but the whole tetherizing a person, like, even if FBA is for reparation, like you are for reparation, but the fact that you question one thing, man, you will get tetherized quick.
I know it. I know it. But for me as a black American, I don't see that space. I understand the purpose of that space. A lot of it is just monetizing confusion. I see our empowerment coming from conversations like this. So make sure you pop back out. I will too, good brother. You know what I mean? I'm going to bring the jambalaya, you bring the jollof, and we're going to rock out and build together.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
I don't
Peace,
mind.
American
I don't
Dream.
mind
Until next
jambalaya.
time, bro.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Willie.
Peace, family.
All right. People in the chat, on your way out, can y'all hit that like button, please? That would be greatly appreciated. You done know. Daydeem Sinois, good to see you. King David, big up yourself. Who else was up in there? Franklin White, big up yourself. Organic Sunflower, as usual, big up yourself. Good to see you. Yeah, man, I Spy 22, you had a lot to say, but you was too scared to come on the panel, I Spy. Hopefully next time you'll work up the nerve. Blessings to you. Infinity, big up yourself. Everybody, big up yourselves. Thanks for coming through. Again, hit that like button. Nil Danzo, Nee Danzo, big up yourself. Yeah, man, you done know. So until next time, you know what I mean? Hit that subscription button so y'all around for the next one. So until then, bless yourselves.
While you try it on these lines.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
Tell the youth them for be strong. You can't tell the youth them for preach wrongs. While you try it on these lands, just remember every man is equal. Yeah. Each one teach one, and our Father God, him are the only done. So make we ease and reason, smoke trees, span the ends, all the deep meds. Take a look at life, and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen, and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's a government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Yeah, bigger heads no love people again. Them most than little of them. We see friends now reason again. Vex through whistle a blame. What time it hurt me to see how the face deal with the eagle of them. Regular me see it a pain. Regular me see it a pain. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's a government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Social commentary. Drop the one, your principle, you don't know. The global will come and do it. Some people life every day, it's stress. The high price from JPS, that topic is currently. Jah alone, him a go help you. We need food and we no healthy. We are feel the pain, beg you protect we. In a life we have no envy. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's a government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people.
Very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. But mind them up to one hygiene a do it. That's why enough of them, yeah, rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 days, we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep an eye open every time you go slave. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle with some meat. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life, ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life, ghetto life. This a real ghetto life, ghetto life. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, you me see enough stress. Them all a fight for who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a breed the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't rest.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life, ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life, ghetto life. This a real ghetto life, ghetto life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one, hygiene not eat. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want the guns and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 wheels you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep an eye open every time you go slave. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle with some meat. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life, ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life, ghetto life. This a real ghetto life, ghetto life. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Very carefully.
Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Brought us from the motherland in bondage and chains. Bury our culture and change our names. They claim we're free, yet we are in pain. As long as there's life, there's a lot to gain. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. When Garvey spoke his words, they said he was deranged. Marley sung his songs, they said the same. Malcolm X and Martin Luther fought relentlessly so we could be better. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Brought us from the motherland in bondage and chains. Bury our culture and change our names. They claim we're free, yet we are in pain. As long as there's life, there's a lot to gain. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say